And from the Gampel Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut, Providence College takes on the number 1 team in the nation, the UConn Huskies. Hi again, everybody. John Rooke with Joe Hassett. You know, you don't get too many opportunities to face a number 1 team in the nation. The Friars have done it 16 times in their 97 seasons of college basketball. They have a 2-14 record all time against teams ranked number 1, and they have never in 97 years beaten a number 1 team on the road. To say that this night could be historical would be an understatement, but I think the Friars know they have a large task at hand, Joe.
Yes, they do, and I have to apologize for my voice here tonight. I'm a cross between Kim Carnes and Lou Rawls tonight after that game with Georgetown the other night. But, you know, when you look at this UConn team, John, you know, they're loaded at every position. You know, when they got Clingan back, you know, the big guy in the middle, he can block shots. He's a good passer. He can get his own shot on the post. And Caravan, you know, terrific outside shooter. He and Spencer shooting 40% from 3. The last ball game, they were 17 for 29 from 3-point range against Xavier. Played exceptionally well in that game. But you know the key to them, John, the UConn team?
Yeah.
There are 3 guards, 2 graduate assistants between Spencer and Tristan Newton, who, by the way, could be and Caravan a sophomore. So, and you got Castle who's a freshman. So you have a great when you want to have experience, you want to have guys who are in the backcourt at the experience level, and UConn has that. I think UConn is a team that will probably stay number 1 unless Providence beats them here tonight. Then Providence will have another shot at them in Providence later on. They'll still be number 1. I don't think they can lose a conference game this year unless Providence beats them.
Yeah, and you know, UConn is basically playing up to form. This is a team that rounded into shape out of the Big East tournament. In fact, you know, UConn, Joe, has actually won 24 of the last 25 games we played here at Gampel. They're 5-0 on the season. But let's go back to last season. Well, they won their last, as I said, the last 5 games here, but they closed last year having won 7 of their last 8. And one of those games against the Friars. Then they've won 18-20 to start this year. So we can see where this team has really kept on a roll from that they started a year ago, and yet this team has completely made itself over again. Only 2 starters returning, but that kind of tells you the kind of job that Danny Hurley has done building the program.
Yeah, and they fit the pieces in perfectly well, too. And both Clingan and Caravan have made extremely big jumps from their freshman year to sophomore year. And Caravan starting last year, he got better and better as the year went on. And Clingan, he's been terrific as a big guy, and he's really developed into one of the best big guys in the country. He's on that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar watch, and he might be the best center in the country, but they'll probably give it to the kid from Purdue.
Probably.
But you look at, you know, Connecticut wasn't mentioned highly by even the coaches in the Big East this year who picked them 3rd in the conference in preseason.
Right.
And now they're number 1 in the country, so all that stuff is malarkey. They got the players at the right position, but again, I think it's very important to have experienced guards, and they do. They have those 3 senior guards, and 2 of them are in their 5th year, and they're very, very difficult to contain.
Yeah, this team has basically had its best 2-year run in program history against non-conference teams. They've had one of their best 2-year runs in history at home, playing here at Gampel. I mean, this team has got it rolling, and, you know, they've got great players. They've gone on and gotten the right, you know, transfers, you know, from the transfer portal. Tristan Newton has turned out to be a potential Big East Player of the Year candidate this year as well, because he has 3 triple-doubles to his credit since he arrived here on campus from East Carolina.
That's the most in UConn history, you know, to have 3 of them. And, you know, he was at East Carolina for 3 years. So, right. I mean, they found him like a diamond in the rough. But then another guy they found, you know, Jordan Hawkins was a great player for this team last year. Gave him that outside threat, shooting the 3, and he was like spot on and get streaky and help you win ball games. Well, they replaced him with a transfer from Rutgers, Cam Spencer, who's a really good shooter. He might be the best shooter in the conference. So he replaced one shooter with another really good shooter who shoots 4%. He shoots 40%. He's shooting 45% this year from 3-point range for UConn. And that's because when you have good big guys and a good point guard, you're going to be open a lot. And when he's open, he knocks it down most of the time.
Well, UConn's 18-2, as we mentioned, overall ranked number 1 in the country. They are 11-0 they're 11-1 in Big East play, but it is their best 20-game start overall since 2008 and 2009. And of course, all they did last year was win the national title. The Friars have won 3 in a row after losing 4 in a row. So you can say that maybe Providence has learned how to play without arguably one of their best players in Bryce Hopkins. But we also know that the Friars are still a little bit undermanned, if not undersized in the middle. And that'll be, I think, the extreme challenge tonight, is keeping this UConn team off of the backboards.
Yeah, that's a big challenge. The Friars are undersized, that's for sure. I mean, the Friars have the ability to play with anybody. When they play with against a big team, they really have to have 5 guys get on the backboards and take away the 3. UConn made 17 threes in the last ball game. Friars need to make about 12 in this game to have a chance, and can't let UConn hit more than 7 or 8 3-pointers in this game. If they can keep them under that level, they'll have a chance in the game. And they got to rebound the ball, John, and try to beat this UConn team down the floor. A big guy like Clingan and Caravan, I mean, they're mobile guys, but if you can get the rebound and make them run, you'll have an opportunity to get easy baskets at the end of the break.
17 made threes against Xavier in their 99-56 win over the Musketeers on Sunday. Tied the school record at Connecticut, which was set a year ago against Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good shooter in Cam Spencer now, and Newton can shoot the outside shot as well. He's really developed. And the Stephon Castle, the freshman, he's solid. And Hassan Diallo, who came from Texas A&M a couple of years there, he gives them the outside shot as well. He's shooting 40% from 3. So you got 3 guys in the backcourt who shoot very well from 3-point range.
They can play 5 out.
They can play 5 out. They can play small. They can play big. There's a lot of ways they can play and beat you. So you have to be able to adjust. You got to play good basketball. Friars can't turn the ball over in this one. You need to shoot the ball very well and not allow Connecticut to get second shot opportunities.
And we'll talk about that very thing with the head coach of the Friars, Kim English. He is coming up next. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Loves soccer, loves football, loves basketball, and this is his very first.
Doug, you got us okay? Okay. Just let me know if you have any issues or need anything or need to know where we're going. I figured. Yeah, I'll bet you do.
I'm surprised Connecticut hasn't put a big screen scoreboard in the middle there.
I know, they
have
should.
the height for it.
I don't know.
Not strong enough? Because they got plenty of room up there.
UConn Nation, welcome back to the iconic Gampel Pavilion here in Storrs, Connecticut. Or as we
Fed decides to stay put today on interest rates, and immediately the Dow goes.
Yeah, because it was built in that they were cutting.
Yeah.
Had an 85% chance. Come on. Kev. You starting tonight?
Huh?
You starting?
Yeah, I got. Well, no, I'm the 6th man.
Oh, yeah.
UConn! Huskies! What a pleasure to have you back. We're playing blue tonight, baby. We got a good one for you. Fans, don't forget, when the lights go out, the lineup should be red. I want to hear you as loud as you can so they can hear you in Rhode Island. And now, please help me welcome UConn man and cheer as we play a little fight on Connecticut and call out the 5 greatest letters in college basketball. Here we go! 4, 3,
What's that bleeding in the background? Oh, there you go. Okay. Hey, Doug, just so you know, something's bleeding through that we're getting in our headsets. Yeah, it seems like it. Okay. Thank you. What do you want to do for a matchup? You want to do Clingan in the middle? You want to do Newton outside with Carter potentially? What do you want to do?
Yeah, that's we do Carter and Newton because but he is probably going to start on Newton.
Probably.
They're going to put.
You're going to put probably him on Cam Spencer?
Yeah, not wear him out defensively. They can guard the point guard all the time. So, but you got two. I think they want to get the two player of the year candidates going against each other would be nice. I mean, people over. That's like moving against.
Let's say then the matchup should be where do the Friars play Devin Carter?
Yeah, that's true. We can use a possible,
right. They're just at the under 4 timeout in St. John Xavier. This is going to have to start on FS2.
Oh, yeah. How come it took so long with St. John?
I don't know.
What's that score?
Tied, 73-on.
Is that in New York?
Yes. In New York?
No, it's in Xavier.
Xavier.
All right, we'll go until it looks like they're getting ready because they're already off the pregame sheet. So that's the group that's going to sing. So when it looks like they're getting ready, we'll bail. I think part of it's because the other game has taken so long.
There's been a lot of fouls going on in that game.
Yeah. John and Joe back at Gampel Pavilion on the Connecticut campus. It's time for our Midland Roofing Protect This House matchup of the game. And we're sitting here thinking about, all right, so how do you slow these Huskies down? I think a lot of it may be predicated, at least to start, Joe, on just who Devin Carter is going to match up against.
Yeah, if I'm Coach English, I'm going to put him on Spencer in the beginning. Tristan Newton is the guy who's the point guard. You're going to put Pierre on him probably, but you don't want to hear Carter around chasing the point guard around all the time. And Newton has the ball most of the time, but I think when it gets hot, Carter's the guy who's going to go on it. But we're looking at two potential player of the year candidates in Carter and Newton, so they'll probably eventually play one another before the game's over.
I would think we'd see them at one time or another, and then clearly the other assignment I think that the Friars would need to concern themselves with is what to do about 7'2" sophomore Donovan Clingan in the middle.
Hey, he's the problem. I mean, he's not a stiff. He's big. He can shoot the ball. He's very clever. He's a good footwork.
He runs the floor well.
He runs the floor well. I mean, maybe you get him a little foul trouble, but I think, Odell can extend the floor for him. Gampel can make some threes in this ball game. That'll bring him out of the paint, and that'll allow the Flyers to get to the basket a little bit better.
You know, one thing that Kim did mention just a couple of moments ago in the pregame is that, you know, speed can negate height. I would imagine we'd see the Friars try to run at every opportunity they can.
Oh, yeah, that's when they're out there bust on. Their best offense is a fast break off a turnover and a missed shot by the opposition. Get it out and go, and that's what they need to do in this one.
All right, so the Friars are 14-6 overall. They've won 3 in a row. They're 5-4 in Big East play. UConn, number 1 in the nation at 18-2. 18-2 overall, 8-1 in the Big East Conference. But Providence has won 20 of the last 27 games they have played against top 25 ranked ball clubs, although all-time against number 1 teams, just 2-14. And you have to go back to the late 2000s to find a home win over Pittsburgh. And the only other time Providence beat a number 1 team, Joe, you were on the floor.
Yeah, I went to both those games. I was actually at that game when they beat Pittsburgh, and I played in that game when we beat Michigan back in 1977, which was 100 years ago.
So they have never won against a number 1 ranked team on the road. This could be history tonight.
Well, you know, I mean, if you play well and make all the shots, you got a shot. That's for sure.
We'll find out about that with the starting lineups and the tip-off. It's coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
National anthem performed tonight by UConn, Clingan.
It is an opportunity tonight like you just don't get all that often. A chance to play and even win against the number 1 team in all of college basketball. Hi again, everybody. I'm John Rooke, along with Joe Hassett. Friars in the Big East tonight on the road at number 1 UConn, renewing the regional rivalry, renewing the Big East battle between the two schools that has seen both sides win 3 times against each other since UConn rejoined the Big East Conference. But the Huskies took 2 of 3 a year ago, Joe, including at the Big East tournament in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, the Friars weren't ready to play in that Madison Square Garden one, that's for sure. But they beat them at home. Huskies came in 14-1, and Friars were able to beat them in that first game. So the Huskies are playing well, and Friars have to play well in this one for sure.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineups presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Rhode Island. First of all, for the Huskies, again at 18-2, 8-1 of the Big East, leading the conference, number 1 in the nation, the defending national champions. Head coach is Dan Hurley, of course, formerly at URI. In his 6th year as head coach of the Huskies, he's won 122 games, lost only 57 times. His 14th year of coaching overall, but 4-8 in his career against the Friars. Tristan Newton, 6'5" graduate student out of El Paso, Texas, transferred from East Carolina. Big East Player of the Year candidate. It's nearly 16 points, 6.5 rebounds, and almost 6 assists per game. Donovan Clingan in the middle, the 7'2" sophomore out of Bristol, Connecticut, at 13.6 rebounds per game, leading the league in field goal shooting at 64% from the floor. Alex Caravan, 6'8" redshirt sophomore from Southborough, Massachusetts, 14.7 points, nearly 6 rebounds, and shooting better than 40% from the year from three. Cam Spencer, 6'4" graduate transfer from Rutgers out of Davidsonville, Maryland, nearly 15 points, and a 45% shooter from three. He leads the Big East in that category. And then Stefan Castle, 6'6" freshman from Covington, Georgia, 9.5 points, nearly 5 rebounds. He's only been the Big East freshman of the week 5 times already this season. So it's Newton, Clingan, Caravan, Spencer, and Castle for the number 1 team in the nation. The Flyers under head coach Kim English in his first year at Providence. Devin Carter, the 6'3" junior from Miami, leads them in scoring and rebounding at 18.6 points and 8 rebounds per game. He's first in Big East games at better than 21 points per game. Joshua Durham in the middle, the 6'9" graduate transfer from George Mason out of Gainesville, Virginia at 14.8 points, 6.7 rebounds. He'll have his hands full with Donovan Clingan tonight. Ticket Gain, 6'7" graduate transfer, Buffalo, New York, and a George Mason, also spent a year at Tennessee, 9 points, 4.5 rebounds per game, 35% from three. Jaden Pierre at the point, 6'2", sophomore, Elizabeth, New Jersey, 9.5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 42% from three. The Friars will need him to shoot the ball. And Corey Floyd, the 6'4" redshirt sophomore, Franklin, New Jersey, who started out as a UConn Husky and redshirted here his first year before transferring to Providence at 3.5 points and nearly 3 rebounds per game for head coach Kim English. So for the Friars, it's Carter, Oduro, Gaines, Pierre, Floyd, again, against the number 1 ranked team in the nation.
Yeah, I mean, they're impressive group. I mean, they got size, they got veteran leadership in the backcourt, and then they have young players who are really good. So the problem with this team right now for the Friars is the lack of size. When Hopkins went down, that hurt him significantly on the board side, the rebounding side, but the Friars need to gang rebound in this one and try to keep the Huskies off the boards.
This is the 79th meeting overall between Providence and Connecticut. Huskies lead the series 47 wins to 34, or 31, I should say, for Providence, 47 to 31. And the Friars have lost the last 2 times they have played against UConn, both of them last year. But as I said off the top, these 2 teams are 3-3 against each other since UConn rejoined the Big East Conference. You got to go back to 2003 to find the last time Providence won inside this building in Gampel Pavilion in the old iteration of the Big East Conference. I believe that was the day that Jim Calhoun said he should have recruited Ryan Gomes.
They played that game in Hartford, that Ryan Gomes game. I remember that one. I think it might have been another time they beat him in there. I can't remember which one.
All right, then maybe that was the time before that.
Yeah, because I remember the Ryan Gomes one, John, because a couple of NBA scouts were there and asking me if Ryan Gomes could play in the NBA. And one guy said, no, he's to go to Canada. He can't play in the NBA. I said, I won't tell you the team, but I said, well, that's why he runs this team and never gets any good because they draft the wrong guys all the time.
Friars did win here back in March of 2003, 76-70. So it has been nearly 21 years. Of course, UConn spent 10 years out of the Big East in the American Athletic Conference.
And they were on the moon there. I mean, their program were right down the toilet when they went to the AAC, the old Big East the guys who didn't stay with the Big East teams here for football reasons. The Connecticut's program really suffered. Friars and the rest of the Big East presidents voted Connecticut back into the Big East. And now they're back to basketball, which is their best sport. And they're showing why. They won the national championship last year, and they're back number 1 again.
Could be a battle of wills tonight as well. The Huskies come in with one of the best offensive teams in the nation. They're 3rd nationally in adjusted offense, according to Ken Palm. The Friars are 9th nationally in adjusted defense by Ken Palm. Friars are dressed in their own black uniforms, white numerals, white trim, white lettering. UConn in the home whites tonight. They've got dark blue lettering, dark blue numerals, and they've got red and blue trim on the predominantly white uniforms. Big East officials feature John Gaffney, Ron Gruber, and Clarence Armstrong. Clingan and Oduro in the center jump circle, controlled by the Huskies. They go basket to our right on the radio, and we are underway in half number one from Gampel Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. Man-to-man for the Friars. Clingan goes to the left wing for Spencer, and he is guarded by Carter right off the bat. Spencer has it in front of the PC bench. Now centers back out for Newton. Newton takes the dribble toward the left, crosses back over on ticket gains, gets into the lane, got a shot partially blocked. Clingan comes down with it with 5 to shoot in the left post, tries to muscle his way into the lane, goes up and under, lays it up, missed it. And Oduro with the rebound.
Great defense by the Friars. Hit the shot clock down to 1.
And here's Floyd pushing it up the floor, gets back quickly, but Clingan is there to keep him from laying it up. Oduro now on the high post, left alone, gives the ball to Floyd. Floyd pulls it out. He's getting the boos from the fans because he started his career here. Gets into the lane inside the foul line, feeds Oduro. He spins around with a jump hook and just off the rim over Clingan. No good.
That's his shot. No good look for him. It just didn't get it in the basket.
Spencer comes off a high screen, gets to the foul line, puts up the lean-in jumper and scores.
So Spencer got a chance around the screen because he's a good shooter, and he can get in that lane, hit the little floater.
So Cam Spencer gets the Huskies on the board. Minute and 10 seconds into the ballgame. Gaines and the Friars working basket to our left on the radio here on half number one. Between the circles for Pierre. Oduro comes off the screen. He's going to challenge. He'll spin 1-on-2 inside the paint. Dumps it out left wing for Carter. Carter is guarded there by the freshman, Steph Castle. He'll drive in the lane, lean in, underhand off the glass, high, and it goes in.
Good move there by Carter. He's worried about Clingan coming down to help out. Oduro's going to have to hit some threes in this game, John, for the Friars to get Clingan away from that basket.
Here's Spencer with the ball, standing in the mid-floor circle, picked up again by Carter defensively to start the ball game. They deny Caravan the ball. Now he goes to get it against Gaines, up high with it. They'll find Castle, drives to the right, pulls up with a 12-footer and scores.
And so Clingan sets that high screen, and all those guys can come off the screen. They're wide open. He's got 7'2", big frame, but he like to come off those screens every time.
UConn number one in the Big East in field goal shooting, just a tick under 50% from the floor on the season. Driving Carter all the way through the baseline, gets tipped, but Pierre picks it up on the left sideline, crosses over, he drives inside on Newton, gets down to the post, fadeaway jumper on the baseline is no good, and the rebound again for Spencer.
Good defense by Newton right there, made him take a tough shot.
Spencer gets around the screen, kicks it off of the right baseline for Castle. Castle to the foul line, leans it again with a jumper, scores again.
They're just so good in the middle there when they come off those screens and they finish everything. And you can't switch because you'll throw a lob to Clingan.
Exactly. So that's why the Friars are at least trying to fight through the screens early. Carter comes off the screen. They leave him alone. Doesn't get the shot off. Floyd goes left corner for Pierre. Now Pierre feeds the post. Oduro turns and faces Clingan. Works into the paint. Goes up with a jump hook. Short. Rebound Floyd on the offensive glass. The foul. And one. Corey Floyd knocks it down.
Good job by Corey Floyd on that baseline. Gets the offensive rebound in traffic as Clingan went out to try to block the shot on Oduro, and that freed up the middle, and Corey Floyd took advantage.
And Clingan picks up the first foul of the ball game. 16:59 to go in the half. And so Floyd, who only averages 3.5 points per game, shoots 61% from the foul line of the season, has a chance now to pull the Friars back within one. And the free throw for Corey is in and out, no good. Offensive rebound for Oduro. Kicks it back out for Carter. He gets dribble penetration to the lane. Now for Oduro. Fakes the three. Drives around left corner. Pierre, open three. Off the iron, no good. And the rebound over the back foul is called on Oduro.
See, Oduro can't do that one. I mean, you don't want to pick up the foul over the back. He didn't have position right there, but good offensive activity at time by the Friars. Pierre was wide open in the corner. He's got to make that shot.
So 6-4, UConn, 16:45 to go on the opening half. Spencer into the forecourt against Carter. Works to the left side. Carter really uptight on him now. Stops his penetration. High post lob for Clingan. Turns and looks at the back door. Goes left wing for Caravan. Right in front of the Friar bench. Now up high with it. Newton, Castle, top of the key. Clingan again. Clingan. Back door intercepted by Oduro.
Good job by Oduro. Anticipated that pass very well on the back door.
Now for Pierre on the right side. Pierre bounces to Oduro. Reverse slam and a score. We are tied.
Great pass there, too right. Yeah, nice pick and pop and roll there by Oduro. Oduro's doing a good job so far against Clingan, making him work.
So Oduro gets the deuce to go, and the Friars have tied it at 6 as we come up on 16 minutes to play. And we got a whistle, and the ball got knocked out of bounds. It looks like a foul as well.
On Pierre on the screen, trying to get over the screen.
So Jaden gets called for the foul. That's his first, second on the team.
Friars coming out trying to deny Newton the ball. That's Pierre's job. He won't let him catch the ball. That's what he's trying to do.
Inbounds from the baseline. Out top now for Castle. And offensive foul call on UConn. Spencer got tangled up with Carter. Spencer is called.
That's Clingan.
It's Clingan?
Yeah, Clingan set the screen on
the screen, and Clingan picks up his second foul 4 minutes deep into the ball game.
That's a big foul there to get him out of the game and put Caravan in the middle. Good job by Carter on the fake, too. He went by the screen and just hit the deck like he was mauled. Little acting like that, and it worked.
Timeout on the floor. 16 minutes to play in the opening half. 6-6 our score from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
We're a top-ranked research institution with campuses and staff across Connecticut built to inspire the community that is the UConn nation. We fuel the state's economy, and we are committed to inclusion that benefits the greater good. We are committed to building a sustainable future for all, and we are just getting started. This is UConn.
And this is Kiara. Kiara is a freshman from New York. She is getting contested in the PC Richard and Son 3-point challenge. Kiara, you're going to have 30 seconds to make as many three-pointers as you can. If you make one, you are a winner and you'll take home the first prize. The prizes get better for each three that you make after that. 30 seconds, Kiara. Are you ready? If she's ready, make some noise, people. Your time starts right now. Kiara, let's go. Good forward. Get it there, girl. Come on. Kiara. Oh, it's almost in, Kiara. It's almost in, Kiara. Students, make some noise. Let's go.
Oh, they got a ringer out there.
Yes, he missed. Good 10 of them. She missed about 10 of them, though.
John and Joe back in Storrs at the Gampel Pavilion, where Providence College basketball is brought to you in part by Dave's Marketplace. Our fresh take of the game. So far, so good.
It has been. Josh Oduro doing a good job out there so far, making Clingan work, and then Clingan just picks up his second foul early in the first half here, so he has to probably sit down. The middle will open up a little bit better for the Friars. They'll put Caravan now in the middle.
Actually, they'll probably bring in Samson Johnson. That would be my guess.
Yeah, they could bring Samson Johnson in there. When Clingan was out, Caravan played a lot of the center position, and he's a problem there too because he shoots 40% from three, so you got to go out and get him on the 3-point line. But the stats here, Friars 3 for 7 from the floor so far in the ball game, 0 for 1 from 3, but they have 3 rebounds. UConn's 3 for 4 from the floor with 3 rebounds, 3 of those defensive rebounds. UConn with 2 turnovers, the Friars with 0 turnovers right now. That's a key stat. Friars had 16 turnovers in the last ball game, which was too many for them. If they can keep it under 10 in this ball game, gives them more opportunities to score.
So we'll be watching turnovers. We'll certainly be watching rebounds. Friars have battled it 3-3 on the backboards here in the early going, and it is Samson Johnson that comes into the game. 6'10 junior out of Togo will replace Donovan Clingan in the middle. Friars with the ball, a chance to take their first lead of the ball game as Pierre brings it right to left into the forecourt. Crosses over, comes to the left wing now. Double team. They find Oduro on the high post. He's guarded by Johnson. Spins around him. Comes to the right side. Hands off to Corey Floyd. Floyd at the top of the key with it. Wrap around pass for Oduro. Wants to spin to the right block against Johnson. Backs his way in. Goes up. Kicks it out. Quick pass left for Carter. Moves to the left. Fires off the 3. Can't get it. Floyd high for the rebound. Floyd with a finish. Floyd with a score.
Corey Floyd has like a power forward out there right now. He's dominating Spencer inside when he blocks him out. Corey Floyd's above the rim.
I think he's motivated to play tonight. What do you think?
Oh, this is the best he's started in the game all year.
Friars get their first lead here. 15-14 to go in the opening half. Castle between the circles, takes the dribble left, uses a Johnson screen, left elbow, gets to the foul line with a jumper up, no, rebound chased down by Oduro. J.O. up the floor to Pierre. Pierre in transition to the right side, attacks the right side, backs out again, finds Carter off the top of the key. Jump pass to Oduro, spins around Johnson, up fakes, gets fouled.
Oduro's a monster right now. He's got everybody beat in that post. He looks like Twinkle Toes out there. He gets the ball, he's spinning and weaving in there, putting the big guys off their feet, creates the contact, gets himself to the line.
So Johnson picks up his first. That's 3 on UConn as a team. And it puts Josh Oduro at the foul line for the first time tonight. Leads the Friars at 81.1 from the line on the season. Actually, just a couple of ticks below Jaden Pierre, but he's had more attempts at the foul line, and the first one is good. And for Josh Oduro, 3 points, 3 rebounds in the opening 4 minutes and 5 seconds of the ball game.
And he looks good, too. I mean, he's fresh. He's got that one foul, but at some point you got to take him out. I just hope they can keep it going when he's out of the ball game. Gary Duell just checked in for Jaden Pierre.
And Oduro hits both free throws. Friars have a 10-6 lead. UConn scoreless in the last 2:34. Providence on an 8-0 run. Hassan Diarra is checked in at guard for Connecticut. Takes the dribble to the right side against Floyd. Looks for penetration. Goes cross court for Johnson. In front of the Friar bench, Johnson hands off to Newton. Catch and shoot 3. Short. Rebound Oduro again. Oduro, quick pass, long pass, forecourt, right for Carter, who spins, backs it up, won't get it to go, got knocked to the floor, no foul. And then it's stolen on the floor, picked up by Ticket, it goes out of bounds, and it's off of UConn Providence ball.
Well, it's a lot of contact going to the basket on that on Carter. John Gaffney underneath the basket, let everything go. That's good of you, the Friars, though. The Friars don't have a lot of guys they play, so if you're not going to call fouls, make sure it's both ways.
Providence will get it. They'll inbound it from the baseline to the right of the basket. It'll be Garway Duval who inbound it as they get the shot clock reset at 20. The officials now meeting just outside the basket. And are they going to check the clock? What are they going to do? Nope. Here comes the inbounds. Garway looks for the play. He bounces inbounds to Floyd. He got knocked away. Floyd steals it right back, gives it to Garway, who flips it over his head, and he missed the shot. And then it gets taken away by Garway from behind. The Floyd is going to steal. Quick hands there by Duval.
Good job by Duval, not giving up on the play. He missed the layup right there, but didn't put his head down. Came back and played deep.
So Garway at the point now, looks to penetrate to the left, gets cut off there by Newton. High post for Oduro, comes to the right wing for Carter. Carter gets around, bounce pass for Oduro, who looks underneath. He'll spin at the foul line, back his way down, turn around, jump shot, up and in for Oduro.
Oduro looks like he's playing little kids out there. He's just dominating in the paint.
Providence is on a 10-0 run over the last 3 minutes. Diarra, quick pass to the left side for Spencer. Spencer, top of the key, back out to Newton. Newton near the center floor circle against Duval, goes left side for Diarra. Right in front of the Providence bench, screen set, cuts to the right. Duval now picks him up. Off the right screen, Spencer, catch and shoot 3, short. And the rebound, Clingan goes over Floyd and puts it back in.
Yeah, Corey Floyd was trying to box him out right there, but Floyd got too big. He gets the rebound and scores.
Caravan at 6'8", Floyd at 6'4". And that stops a 10-0 Friar run. Here's Duval to the top of the key, gives it back out to Oduro, takes it to the right toward the Connecticut bench. Now Carter curls to the left, gets to the lane, runner, no, gets it, the rebound and puts it in.
How about Carter missed the shot up there and tipped it in as well.
4 for Carter in the early going. It's 14-8 Providence. We're under 13 to play in the opening half.
Friars look good right now. They're coming out with a purpose.
Tristan Newton, bounce pass up high for Caravan. He hands off to Spencer. Goes to the high post for Johnson. Now hands off for Diarra. They weave to the right again with Newton. Gets down into the block, puts up a bank shot, missed it badly, and the rebound for Carter.
Good job by the Friars on the defense. You know what they're doing? Something they haven't done all year is switch everything on the perimeter.
And here's Floyd, who works it into the forecourt on Hassan Diarra. Backs his way in outside the mid-floor circle. Diarra is really uptight. He's poke checking and almost like a hockey player. Now Carter feeds Oduro on the left block. Backs his way in. There's a double team. He spins through it. He goes up, got it rejected by Johnson out of bounds. 6 on the shot clock. Providence keeps it.
Well, Connecticut had to send somebody else or send somebody a double team. Oduro should have passed that one. I mean, he's doing a good job. He stepped through the double team by Spencer, but Spencer had to leave his man. Somebody's open. And Josh usually finds the open man.
Floyd comes out for his first rest. Rich Barron, the freshman from Chicago, checks in.
And Carter is out as well.
6 to shoot. Inbounds right corner. Ticket for 3. In and out. It just won't fall. Johnson rebounds.
Good look there by Ticket.
Here comes Newton streaking into the forecourt behind the back with the dribble. It's blocked. Gets the ball back out to Johnson. Now for DR. Hands it back to Newton. Newton works to the left. Up high for Caravan. Slides to the right. Handoff there for Castle. Castle left-handed. Now top of the key for Johnson. Turns and looks at the defense. Wants a back door. Gives it front door. Castle deep 3. Short. Odero again with a rebound.
Friars playing great D, switching everything out there in the perimeter. There's no open look so far.
You're right. It's giving him all kinds of fits on the perimeter. Here's Pierre spinning, gets to the top of the key, penetrates, goes to the rim. Reverse layup, score for JP.
JP, he's good going to the basket. He's got that lane back there, no shot blocker. We'll clean him on the bench. He's going to the basket.
First basket for Jaden Pierre. Friars lead 16-8. 11-19 to play in the opening half here in Storrs, Connecticut. Newton drives it to the right, cut off by Pierre. Up high Johnson, back to Newton, fakes the 3, goes down the lane, wraps around, banks it up, and gets fouled.
Good play there by Newton. He knew Odero was coming over, so he ran into him on purpose and then picked up the foul. That's the second one on Odero. He's going to have to sit now.
Yeah, that's going to even things out a little bit. Josh picks up his second personal with 11:09 to go. Tristan Newton gets his first basket, and we got a timeout with 11:09 to play in the opening half. It's Providence 16, number 1 UConn 10 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Now we'll see what happens. Because everything was going to Odero. Everything went through Odero, either on the post or at the top of the key.
Yeah.
Castro can't do any of that.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And shows your pearly whites. Time for the Delta Dental Smile Cam. Look at that video board. Give us a smile.
John and Joe back in Storrs, Connecticut, where Providence basketball brought to you in part by Finetco, a family of lumber yards. That 10-0 run that the Friars had to take the lead in this first half against Connecticut, Joe, it's just the 4th time this year that the Huskies defensively have allowed a double-digit run against them.
Yeah, the Friars are getting it done, and Josh Odero, everything's been going through him. Either he has the post-up position or at the top of the key where guys are cutting and get to the basket. Friars are winning the rebounding battle too, John. They have 10 rebounds in the ball game, but 5 of those are offensive rebounds. They had 1 offensive rebound in the whole first half in their last ball game against Georgetown.
Right.
So they're getting second shot opportunities. They've taken 17 so far in the first half. UConn's only taken 11, and UConn's met 5 of those. Friars are 7 for 17 from the floor. Friars have no turnovers in the first half here so far. UConn has 4 turnovers, so the difference right now is the Friars are getting on the glass. When they do miss, they're getting second shot opportunities, and they're not giving UConn Huskies any second chance opportunities with no turnovers.
Yeah, 10-7 lead on the backboards. Here comes Rafael Castro into the game for Josh Odero with 11:09 to go in the first half.
This is a key part of the game right now because that nice lead and the rhythm they had in the game, you have to take Odero out at some point. But now Josh has 2 fouls. And Castro doesn't play that game that Odero plays. You know, everything going through Odero with the post. Castro's more up and down trying to block shots and protecting the rim. He's not really involved in the offense. So Friars have to change it up on the offensive end with Castro in the game.
Newton hits the three-point play as he makes the free throw. Stops a 14-2 Providence run on that basket and free throw there overall. And it's 16-11. Here's Pierre working into the forecourt with it on the left side. Penetrates down to the left flat. Now pulls it back out for Gaines. Gaines underhands Barron. Swings it left to Dual. Dual comes off a high screen. Outside the top of the key. Back for Barron. Pierre drives the left baseline. Gives it to Castro. Hits it in. Scores! And he gets fouled over Johnson.
What a pass by Pierre. You know, those two have been on the same link since they got here together. And Pierre throws a nice bounce pass in traffic. You get Castro near the rim, you give it to him. If he can catch it, he'll finish because he can play above the rim.
Samson Johnson just picked up his second personal foul. So you got the two UConn bigs in trouble, and he comes out of the game. Spencer comes back in, and as you said earlier, Caravan's going to have to move to the middle.
He's got to play the middle now, and Castro has a little advantage on Caravan when they're on offense, but on defense, Caravan can take him outside to shoot threes.
Castro's free throw is no good. He missed it. He had hit 4 in a row over the last 2 games. And the lead is 18
up there.
18-11. Caravan has it, drives, gets around Castro, scoop to the hoop, he scores.
And he hurt his ankle.
Oh my goodness, he came down awkwardly on his right leg after he drove and hit that basket off of the backboard, and he crumples to the floor under the basket. He is up as he's been helped up now by his teammates, but he is limping. Let's hope it's just an ankle and
what's
nothing
that
more
injury?
serious.
What's that injury he had last year? Didn't he hurt himself last year? Was it an ankle injury?
I think it was.
He's not happy out there.
No.
He knows something.
This place gets deathly quiet as they give him a round of applause as he limps over to the bench on the far side of the floor. 10:33 to go in the half, and 18-13 Providence lead.
Well, he made a good move on Castro. That's what I was worried about. He pumped fake. Castro knows he shoots 40% from 3. He got up in the air and he got by him. I think he landed on somebody's ankle, but I'll probably go back and retape it if it doesn't look bad.
They have brought Steph Castle back into the game to replace him. Friars with the basketball after Caravan got that deuce to go. Here's Dual, who brings it into the forecourt on Hassan Diarra. Screen set by Castro. Works to the right side. Well out on the perimeter. Now looks for some penetration help. Shot clock down to 13. Duval hesitates and then gets called for a carry.
Well, it looked like he wanted to shoot it, and then the defense jumped out on him on that one, and he carried the ball. That's the first
turnover of the game with 10:15 to go in the first half.
That's why the Friars have this 5-point lead. They're executing extremely well as Duval comes out and you bring back Carter.
Carter back in, so he got a little rest here.
Well, you know, Coach went with Carter and Odell on the bench, and the Friars were able to extend the lead a little bit.
So here's Diarra into the forecourt. Fire lead is 5. Top of the key for Castle. He hands off to Newton. Now high post for Johnson. Johnson turns, looks down low. Castle shares it right of the key. Hands off to Newton, curls to the left, gets into the lane, tries to dump it off, gets knocked loose, picked up by Johnson on the baseline, and he throws it into the backcourt, and Diarra will pick it up, and it's a backcourt violation.
Friars are playing great D, John. They're all over the place, switching every screen, communicating out there. I don't think, the way the Friars have been playing defense all year, they haven't switched hardly anything. They've gone fight off the top of the screen, make you take a tough 2, and try to eliminate the 3. But in this game, they're switching everything. It looks like Connecticut's like, what are they running out here? And they're not adjusting to it so far. That's why the Friars are able to jump out into this lead.
6'7" freshman Jalen Stewart out of Seattle will check for UConn. Friars will get it from the baseline. Lob out front now for Castro. Castro shares it for Carter, right of the key. He's going to look down low. Pierre grabs it at the top of the key. They doubled out on him. 11 to shoot. Pierre's going to go up for a deep 3. It's off the mark. Long rebound, chase down. Castle picks it up.
Now getting physical out there for sure.
Castle drives, leaves it for Newton. There's a 28-footer in and out. No. Rebound for Gaines.
Newton's been making that shot all year. He likes that deep one.
Now Carter drives to the right. He hasn't been able to take a deep one yet. Sends the ball back out and out for Pierre. Pierre with the left-hand dribble gets down the lane, kicks the ball back outside. It got knocked away. It's loose. It's out of bounds. It is off of the freshman Stewart. Providence will keep it.
Pierre had a layup there. If he went one more dribble, he had his man beat for a layup with the left hand. They try to throw it out for a 3. You see, most teams now, they're waiting on that 3-point line. They want you to take a tough 2, but they give you a layup. Take the layup.
Gaines is out of the game. Floyd back in. Carter will end. Stolen by Johnson. Johnson drives and takes it home. That was going to
Listen, now you can't throw that pass to Castro and not throw in the basket. You got to get it to a guard.
Right. Throwing to Castro is mistake one there. Second turnover of the game. Carter has it. Double team out on him. He reverses, crosses over, fires up the three, misses everything. Long rebound, up the floor. Castle comes down with it, drives to the left side on Pierre, cuts him off from the basket, spins to the inside, goes down low, nothing there. Throws it back out front. Tristan Newton and loses the dribble, picks it back up. Stewart drives, dumps it back outside again for Castle. Jump hop in the lane, rejected by Castro and fouled.
See, Carter has been playing great. He made 2 bad plays the last 2 possessions. He throws the ball away on one and takes a crazy 3 contested there, barely hit the rim. He's got to show his veteran experience out there. He's got to settle his team down. You can't get crazy out there when the crowd gets crazy. Do what you do best and do your strength. Don't bail them out with bad shots and making turnovers.
This is going to be a shooting foul for Steph Castle as it called on Jaden Pierre. And Pierre picks up his second personal. So Castle at the line for 2, and the first one rattles in and out. The freshman, 5 times already, Big East Freshman of the Week, is a 70% foul shooter on the season. UConn as a team, 72.8 from the line.
Coach Kim Ingles, he trusts Oduro. He's had him, George Mason. He's got the 2 fouls. He's putting him in the game now for Castro, making sure Josh doesn't pick up a silly third one. If somebody's got a dunk or layup, let him go.
Castle's second shot is good. That's his 5th point of the half. And it pulls the Huskies back within 2 at 18-16. Full court pressure, double team, save to Floyd. And Floyd will give it back up to Pierre. Friars have gone now 2 minutes and 10 seconds without scoring. Still have a 2-point lead. Pierre feeds Carter. Well outside of the perimeter. Flash the double team. It gets knocked away and stolen. And then the ball gets poked back, but Spencer now grabs it, gives it to Castle, who drives, backs it up, and then Castle gets floored by Rich Barron.
Another turnover by Carter. That's the last guy you'd think would go into a funk here. He's got 2 turnovers and a bad shot. The last 3 possessions. He's allowing Connecticut to get back in it.
Yep, Devin Carter, potential player of the year candidate in the Big East as well. 3 straight turnovers. And the foul on Rich Barron will put Castle back in the line, shooting 2 more. It's team foul 5 on the Friars here in the half. Castle's free throw is good.
Well, Carter that time, if he fakes the pass over the top, throws a bounce pass into Oduro, he's got a layup almost.
Steph Castle just made the Jerry West finalist list for best shooting guard in the country. UConn will bring in Solomon Ball, 6'3" freshman out of Leesburg, Virginia. And the Friars bring Ticket Gaines back into the lineup. Second shot for Castle is on the way and short, and the rebound for Gaines. Friars maintain a 1-point lead. UConn on a 6-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. Oduro back in it. Starts left, goes right, hands off to Carter. Carter guarded by Castle and goes to Duell again. A Duell on the right sideline feeds Oduro. The double team comes over. They're going to come back out on him. He's going to come cross court to Carter. Underneath for Floyd. Floyd may try to post up on Castle. He'll do so. He'll fake left. He'll go right. He'll go back to the left. He looks to the left again, and they try left. Crowder. 3 seconds in the lane.
He's going to elevate when he gets that first step right time to get it up over the defender.
Timeout with 7:47 to play here on the first half. And UConn starting to crunch it down defensively. Flyers have gone scoreless in the last 3 minutes, but still lead it 18-17. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. You know you got a monitor there, too, in case you need it.
Oh, okay. We had no turnovers. We got 4 turnovers since the last time out.
3 of those by Carter.
Yeah.
The Hot Potato Food Truck, a proud partner of PC Athletics. For your next event, call the Hot Potato Food Truck at 401-919-3009.
Well, Fast got off to that good start, John. And yeah, they weren't turning the ball over. They've had 4 turnovers since the last time out.
In the last 3 minutes.
And that's why UConn has been able to score and get back to within a point of this one. It's nice the Fast had that good lead there while the turnovers hurt them there. But the Fast are 8 for 20 from the floor. 0 for 5 there from three-point range. UConn 7 for 14 now. 0 for 4 from three-point range. Friars winning the rebound battle still, 12-10. Just around 1 offensive rebound by UConn so far in the ball. And Friars doing a good job of getting the big guys to UConn in foul trouble. They got to take advantage of that now when those guys aren't on the floor.
Well, they've got Josh Oduro with 2 fouls, who's back in the lineup. Difference why the Friars still have a lead after being scoreless for the last 3 minutes. They've got a 2-rebound margin on the backboards, and they've taken 6 more shots from the floor than UConn has.
Yeah, just the only thing that's hurting now is the turnovers. When they come up and move the ball in themselves, spread the floor, get something to the basket, get it to a ball, and let them make a decision, they usually score. But turning the ball over has hurt them in the last 3 minutes.
UConn, though, has the ball and a chance to retake the lead on this possession. Friars' lead was 8 at one point at 16-8. UConn led early 6-2. Spencer back in the game. He'll bring it up against Carter as he moves it left to right into the forecourt. Has the dribble on the right side, a handoff there for Castle. Top of the key for Johnson. Goes to the left side on the sideline. A shovel pass down low. Castle is there. Castle works into the paint with a big jump step. Turns inside. Bounce pass to Johnson. Puts up the turnaround jump hook. Oduro with a rebound.
Good job, Corey Floyd playing a bigger guy right there. Pushed him off the spot.
The wall comes off the screen. Looks for penetration. Backs it out between the circles. Picked up by Solomon Ball. Now Oduro starts left. Continues to the left. Hands off to Gaines. Gaines comes left for Carter. Carter has Spencer guarding him. Spencer, the transfer from Rutgers, crosses over, gets in the lane on him, leans in, left corner. Oduro's going to get off the 3. Yeah!
Oduro's the man out here right now. What a good play by Oduro. Pops out the corner, nice and calm, knocks down the 3.
9 for Josh here in the first half. He's just 2 for his last 17 from 3 before that make. Stewart from 3 off the back iron, no good. Carter with a rebound. The Friars stop a scoreless stretch of about 3.5 minutes. Here's Carter going down, banks it up off the rim, won't get it. Oduro with a rebound, follow, and they're going to call an over the back foul.
Foul for his 3rd foul. And you don't call a foul on Carter going to the basket. What are you looking at, Gaffney? He's horrendous. He still should have that Jayhawk pad on his forehead.
Oh, Josh just picked up his 3rd. My goodness.
Well, if Gaffney calls a foul there, which it should have been a foul on Carter going to the basket, that rebound would have never happened. Gaffney is horrendous. I don't know how he gets these games.
Oduro goes to the bench for the last 6:38 of this half, without a doubt. And it's too bad. He leads the Friars with 9 points. Friar lead is 4. UConn with the basketball. Castle hands off right side for Newton. I guess they just don't want the bigs to play in this game here, the officials. Spencer dumps it off to Johnson, who has 2 fouls in the game, but stays in there at the top of the key with it. He's going to be guarded by Ticket Gaines. Comes back out right for Spencer with 9 to shoot. Spencer tries to drive on Dual. He fights through the screen. Spencer drives, kicks it out. Castle, an open 3. No. Rebound taken by Newton. Saved it in the corner.
They got a box out there. That's one of the few offensive rebounds that Connecticut has gotten in this game.
Castle, top of the key, uses Sampson as a screener. Crosses over, penetrates, leans in. Got it stripped, gets it back, got it blocked. Goes up, missed the shot, got fouled.
Tim Ingles is saying, stay on the floor, stay on the floor. Don't elevate on those. Get the cheap one.
The foul is on Barron, and Rich Barron has picked up his 2nd. So you got 3 from Oduro, 2 from Pierre, 2 from Barron. 17 fouls to 4 for Connecticut, who has 2 on Clingan and 2 on Samson Johnson.
Well, look at that lineup for the Friars right now. The biggest guy is Gaines at 6'6". Basically, they have 4 guards out there, and Gaines is a 3-man.
So 2 shots here for Castle, even though it's the 7th team foul. He was in the act of shooting. He's at 2 of 4 from the foul line so far here in the first half, and the shot here is good. And so the Husky freshman, 7 first-half points to lead his team in scoring.
He's a good player, Castle.
Averaging 9.6 points a game, 70% from the line. 5 times he's been Big East Freshman of the Week, including this past week.
Well, it's nice he can go out there and play with all those seniors,
and
too.
he missed the second one.
He can play with the seniors, and, he's not the go-to guy. He can go out there and fit in nicely.
So he only makes 1 of 2. Corey Floyd with a rebound, and the lead is 3. Carter has it right. He's going to have to get his game going, I think, with Oduro out of there. Carter to the right side, deep 3, short, and the rebound comes down, chased down by Spencer. Quick pass, long pass, forecourt. Castle drives, missed it. Back partially back. Floyd with a rebound. Floyd on the run right to left. Carter up the middle of the floor. Switch 2 defenders. Goes to the left corner for Duval, who drives the baseline. Leans in, loses the dribble, out of bounds off his leg. Wow.
I tell you what, it is his physical basketball game. I mean, guys are grabbing and bumping. Carter went to the basket, bumped twice. Here comes Caravan out of the runway there. Looks like he's okay. They taped it up.
Take his angle up. Fans giving him a standing ovation for returning to the Connecticut bench. Huskies with the ball, trailing by 3. 17 to go in the first half. The freshman Castle will bring it into the forecourt on Floyd. It's stopped off by Duval. Left side for Johnson. Now weaving in traffic, Newton out to Stewart, who gets off a clean 3, too strong. Carter with a rebound.
Good box out by Barron right there. He kept the big fellow Johnson off the glass so Carter could get it.
Carter into the forecourt with it, comes to the top of the key for Gaines. Now Gaines looks to the left, comes back out front for Floyd. Pushes to the right for Duval. Now Duval may try to step back and hold the 3, and off the back iron, no good. Rebound Stewart.
Well, he had Johnson on him, thought he could get that jumper off.
Newton, alley-oop. Castle jams it down, and Ken English calls a 30-second timeout with 4:37 to go, and Connecticut back within 1, and Alex Caravan getting set to come back into the game.
Well, Fries also assigned that time in Newton, and he's the club very well as a guard. Good shooter, he's a really good passer as well. He's got 3 triple doubles in his career. Somebody lost Castle on that, and he finds him on the alley-oop. Good timeout by Kim English right there, because we don't want this place to get a little crazy after that dunk. Calm things down a little bit for us to have the lead in the ball game, come down and get a good possession here.
Castle has 9 points to lead the Huskies here in the first half, but he's only 3 of 6 from the free throw line.
And he's usually a pretty good foul shooter, too, but, they've had to go to him a little bit more now with all the big guys out of the lineup, and he's risen to the occasion. The Flyers playing that small line, doing a good job of keeping Connecticut off the boot. Flyers actually winning the rebounding battle right now, 17-14, so they're getting the job done on the glass. They just need to start getting a little bit more efficiency on the offensive end.
The Providence will have the ball and come back to play. Connecticut is pulled back within 1. Since the Flyers went on a 10-0 run earlier in the half, they had a 16-8 lead with 11:29 to go in the half, and since that point in time, over the last 7 minutes, nearly 7 minutes on the clock, the Flyers only scored 5 points.
Yeah, the defense for UConn has picked up, but when the Flyers are very efficient offensively, John, that's when O'Donnell's on the floor. They can get him the ball on the post, and he's out on the perimeter. He's a good passer, and the defense has to find out where he is. And guys are all moving. When he's not out there, they lose that dynamic. Plus, he can make plays. He has 3 fouls now, so Flyers have to go the rest of this half and try to stem the tide here, get through halftime.
Interesting as well that Danny Hurley has decided to stay with Samson Johnson in the middle. Even though I guess they could have brought Clingan back in with 2 fouls, but this game may be a little too fast for him.
No, he'll be fine when he gets back in there. You got to use him if you can keep him on the bench for a while.
Carter has it, lost it off his foot, picks it back up on the perimeter. Cass right there to pick him up. Okay, he dumps it off the right side for Barron. Barron cuts with a left-hand dribble. Left side for Floyd. Back up front for Rich. Pushes right for Carter. 10 to shoot for the Friars. Carter shakes, drives, left corner. Floyd, wide open three. Get it!
How about Corey Floyd? He's stepping up big time in here on his return to UConn. Makes a three-pointer there. He's playing good basketball.
7 for Floyd in the half, shooting only 15% from three on the season. And the Friars go back up by 4 as we're under 4 to play. Newton drives, lays it up, scores off the glass.
Well, he got around that screen like there's no big guy back there to bother him, and he knows it. He finishes off at the rim.
So he turns the corner on the drive. He's got 5 in the half and pulls the Huskies back within a deuce. Pierre finds Floyd off the top of the key. Floyd is guarded by Cam Spencer. Now to the right wing. Pierre right in front of the UConn bench. Looks to penetrate, goes by Caravan, stops. Caravan blocks it. Pierre picks it back up. Finds it out to Gaines. Gaines drives, got it blocked from behind. Loose on the floor, picked up, and finally Caravan gets it.
Good defense by Connecticut right there, able to block those couple of shots.
Spencer drives to the left. Huskies looking to tie or take the lead. Caravan for 3.
Good try by Caravan. This shot's 40% out there. And he'll back in out of a deeper and knocks it down.
And the Huskies retake the lead by 1. 3:04 to go in the first half. The Ruth Hammers came at the Pavilion. Pierre on the right side, up high now for Carter. Carter double teamed on the left lane, backs it out against Newton, crosses over, penetrates down left. He floats to Gaines, who scores off the glass.
Great pass by Carter. Doing a good job that time, trying to penetrate, not settling for that wild three-pointer now. He's not open. They're doing a good job taking that away. He's got great quickness, Devin does. Get by them and get to the basket.
First basket for Gaines. Friars retake the lead. Castle, top of the key with it, slides to the left. Spencer, catch and shoot. 3 on the way. Got it. His first try of the game for Cam Spencer, who leads the Big East in three-point shooting. And UConn back up by 2.
Going to top both threes by their best shooters. They both shoot 40% from 3.
Pierre comes off a high screen, rolls to the right outside the perimeter. Barron between the circles, left for Carter. Carter drives on Castle, gets in the lane, leans in with the right hand, off the glass, no good. Rebound, loose on the floor, out of bounds, off of Johnson. And the Friars will keep it.
Got by the Friars, getting on the glass, especially Corey Floyd. He is playing big in this ball game, getting on the glass.
Timeout with an even 2 minutes to play in the opening half as Carter's trying to plead his case to referee Clarence Armstrong about getting hacked on his way to the hoop that last time. Providence down by 2 from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Huskies have hit their last 4 in a row.
What?
Huskies have hit their last 4 in a row.
2 of those are threes.
Yeah. Janney Montgomery Scott helps clients connect their life and their finances. Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC. Member, NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. John and Joe back in Storrs, Connecticut, inside the Gampel Pavilion, and 2 minutes left to play here in the opening half. And Connecticut has hit their last 4 shots in a row. 3 of them have been threes. Actually, 2 of them have been threes, I should say. And they got a 28-26 lead.
Yeah, you know, Friars are hanging tough time. They're just shooting 37% from the floor, 11 for 29. They're 2 for 9 from three-point range at 22%. and they're 50% from the foul line at 2 for 4. Yet they're only down by 2. I think they've been scrappy out there on the defensive end. They're winning the rebounding battle. They have 19 rebounds. 7 of those have been offensive rebounds. Taking 29 shots, only made 11, but Huskies are 11 for 23, 2 for 9 from three-point range, 4 for 7 from the line. They have 15 rebounds, but the Friars doing a good job of keeping the Huskies off the offensive rebounds. The Huskies have 2 offensive rebounds in the game. Both teams have 5 turnovers.
Friars have 7 offensive rebounds. UConn is in the top 15 in the nation in 5 different offensive categories in field goal percentage, scoring margin, effective field goal percentage, assist turnover ratio, and assists per game.
If they keep this close to the 5-minute mark, you'll be in good shape.
Inbounds come to Duval, 19 to shoot. Out front now for Castro, who's entered. Floyd now handles it off the top of the key to the right. They'll find Carter. Carter guarded by Castle. Coming off the screen is Duval in front of the Husky bench. 8 to shoot. Looks for dribble penetration. Left corner. Gaines moves up for the 17-footer, and then it rolls in.
Nice shot by Gaines. He pumped fake down the 3, put it on the floor, gets by. Everybody gives you that wide open mid-range shot, and he knocks it down.
Second basket for Ticket Gaines. Friars tie it at 28. 1:32 to go in the half. Johnson, high post. Looks left. Friars trying to deny Newton the ball. Now he grabs it right in front of Kim English. Garway Duval is there defensively. Down to 10 to shoot for UConn. Comes off the screen, rolls to the post, drives, and a foul on the floor before the shot. Looks like a little knee check there by Castro. That's the first on Raphael, but it will be a 1-and-1 now for Connecticut with 1:18 to go.
Well, Newton's tough out there when he's on the perimeter using that screen. He's very clever with the ball. He's a good passer. He can finish at the rim, and he can make 3-pointers, so you have to get out on him. Castro there out in no man's land trying to guard Newton. That's not a good matchup. Newton took advantage of it.
Newton, 79% for the line for the graduate student, and the free throw is up and in. That's his 6th point of the half as he leads Connecticut in scoring at 15.8 per game. He actually had 63 points scored in the last 3 games combined for the Huskies.
Yeah, he's just a great matchup. He does everything well, and he's a good defensive player, too.
Second shot for Newton is short, and it is Castro that snatches the rebound, and UConn's lead is 1. 1:12 on the clock. Friars with the basketball. Duval brings it into the forecourt against Newton. Finds Carter on the perimeter. Comes to the right side for Floyd. Corey gets a screen set by Castro, rolls down the lane, leans inside, gets caught in no man's land, dumps it back up front for Duval. 7 to shoot. Garway drives, leans in. Offensive foul called on Duval. That time, Newton, who got in front of him in the last split second and picked up the charge.
Too bad. Garway had him beat.
Yep.
He had a good first step there. Just keep going to the basket and let it over him. He could have finished that one at the rim.
That's the 12th charge that the Connecticut defense has earned this year, which by far and away is more than anybody I know of, since there's more emphasis on not making that call. And here's Newton crossing over the Euro step, lost the ball out of bounds. Friars touched it last. And a foul is on his way to the hoop.
Castro, I think.
Oh, my goodness. Castro called for a foul. Is going to put Newton right back at the line, shooting 2.
Well, they set a screen out at mid-court for Newton. He came out at full head of steam, and that was a set play for him to turn the corner and get to the basket. And he did. He gets himself to the line.
And that's now 2 fouls on Castro. And that's 10 fouls on the Friars, so it's a double bonus here with 48.9 seconds on the clock.
The Friars can go for a 2-for-1 here, too, if they so desire. That's why I think Connecticut went quickly, trying to get one for themselves.
Newton's free throw is short, no good. So he's hit just 2 of 4 from the line.
Connecticut not very good from the foul line in this one so far.
No, they're 5 of 10 from the foul line here in the half. Friars are only 2 of 4. So Newton readjusts his shorts, tucks in his shirt again. Looked over at his bench. Now he'll step back to the foul line and has one more free throw here. 48.9 on the clock. 29-28. Connecticut with a 1-point lead. Free dribbles at the line. Newton, second shot. In and out. Missed them both. And Corey Floyd with the rebound. Here come the Friars. Carter up the right side. An offensive foul called on Carter. Again, Stefan Castle, not Carter, but Stefan Castle took the charge on that one, and he was flying. There's no way his feet were set.
Castle's played Carter the whole ball game, and he's actually done a pretty good job on Carter. Carter just losing his patience out there. Take the time playing against a freshman.
First foul on Devin Carter. Ball goes back over to Connecticut here. About 10 seconds difference between the clocks. Newton picked up by Duval. Well out on the perimeter. Now he'll bring the dribble back to the center, and he'll call a timeout. Danny Hurley will call the use it or lose it 30 here with 27.7 on the game clock, 17 on the shot clock.
Well, Friars going to get another opportunity. If they initial shot by Connecticut, Friars have to make sure they box out, don't allow a second shot opportunity. And you're going to have plenty of time. I don't know if Kim's used his use it or lose it yet timeout, but
he has.
He has. Okay, so the Friars, when they get the rebound, they know they have to push, get something up the court, see if they can get a lead here at halftime. They need to get a stop here. They played a good first half, down by one here. Doing some good jobs on the execution side. Only has 6 turnovers so far.
You mentioned lead at halftime. Not that it really matters, but I just think it's kind of interesting. UConn is 16-0 in the season when they lead at half. The Friars are 12-0 when they lead at half.
So it makes a big difference if you're leading at halftime.
It might.
But I mean, in this game, it's probably going to be a 2 or 1 point lead at halftime the way it's been going. But the Friar team has been tough. I mean, they played under man. They haven't had a center in the ball game for a lot of the ball game. Spread the floor out, doing a good job rebound. They're winning the rebounding battle against a much bigger Connecticut team. So that shows the strength they had out there. They just had a couple of untimely turnovers right in a row. Devin Carter, which is uncharacteristic of him, he's got 3 turnovers. He gets the offensive foul. That's considered a turnover as well.
All right, 27.7 to go, 17 to shoot. Connecticut will inbound the ball near the Friar bench to the far side. Forecourt to our right, leading at 29-28. UConn's biggest lead has only been 4 in this game. And Caravan will inbound. And it's Tristan Newton who controls it. The wall's on him defensively. He's going to work a little time off the clock. Now down to 8 to shoot. Newton starts right, cuts left. Passes underneath. Castle tried to go backdoor, dumps it back out front for Newton. Goes up in the air, fires a deep 3, won't get it. Rebound is tapped and another foul called on Caravan.
Great job, Corey Floyd. I mean, he is doing a yeoman's work underneath the basket. He's playing undersized, boxing out Caravan that time. Caravan had to come over the top of him. Corey's not going to out-leap him. So he does a good job boxing out, picks up the foul.
It's only the first foul on Caravan and only the 5th team foul, so the Friars won't get a 1-and-1. They got to go 9 seconds here. Here's Carter with the ball. Into the forecourt with 6, with 5. Drives to the left. Goes down the lane, and a reach-in foul is called. They had 1 to give. That's not a bad play. The foul is called on Connecticut's number 12, Cam Spencer, excuse me. 3.3 on the clock. That's 16 fouls. Friars will have to inbound it from the near side here. Forecourt to our left, and they have 3.3 to get a shot off of the clock. Carter from the left side. Castle in front of him. They find Duval around the screen. Duval fires a 3. Off the rim, it won't go, just off the side. And Connecticut will take a 1-point lead into the locker room over Providence at halftime. The number 1 team in the nation leading at 29-28.
Really good first half for the Friars, John. They've done a lot of good things out there. Corey Floyd's been a monster underneath the basket. The Darrell's been terrific, but those 3 fouls he didn't get to play a lot in that first half. But Friars hanging tough here, down 1 at halftime.
Yeah, that certainly seems a big difference in the game thus far. We'll take the timeout. We'll come back with more from Gampel Pavilion in Storrs, Connecticut. Friars down 1 at halftime. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
Fans, Lewis Real Estate Agents can help you buy, sell, and invest in real estate. Also looking for a rental? No problem. Head over to our website and begin your search tonight. When you work with Lewis Real Estate, you are always on the winning team. see our Huskies in the NCAA this weekend. Hockey Texas small boss. Alabama Hawkins and the Lawrence Hawkins. Hawks are 8-point small. That's Saturday night. Jackson said that we out for something free. With the Bucks on the 154. Dancing on the video board, it's time for the Copy That Cam, presented by Wise Chips. Live like Wise, the irresistible snack, and the best flavor experience. Huskies, are you living like Wise? Now, let's see you do your very best classic, inflatable 2 minutes. The 2 minutes. There you go, Sydney. And you're practicing all off season. Don't move, we'll be there in 10 minutes. That was the Copy That Game, presented by Wise Chips. Fans your local Adams hometown market. Keeping up with UConn basketball this season. Remember the Hometown Foundation, nonprofit organization working to create meaningful community connections.
John and Joe back in Storrs, Connecticut at halftime, where the top-ranked Huskies lead the Friars 29-28 at the break. And Joe, really, you know, I think you told me before the game, if you told many Friar fans before the game that you could be within 1 point of the number one team of the nation at halftime on their home floor, you'd be relatively pleased with that because it means that the Friars are battling. They are. But you might also think you should have the lead. You hit 4 of 11 from the floor in the last 7.5 minutes and watch the lead dissipate.
Yeah, Husky defense got better for sure in the second half. In the first half while the game went along. But, you know, for personal fouls, Friars have 11 personal fouls called against them, just 6 for the Huskies. They didn't even get over the bonus in this first half. So that's a big discrepancy. The game is physical. If you're going to let them play, let them play. Don't call it one way and call it physical. I mean, you shouldn't have 2-to-1 fouls against one team and the other. So in a number of those fouls where Carter went to the basket and got bumped a little bit, Corey Floyd as well. So, you know, if you're going to call those things, make sure you make it even. I think if it was even there, the Friars would probably have the lead in this ball game. They just shot though 38% from the floor, 20 from three-point range, 2 for 10. But I thought they did a good job, John, on the backboards. They had 22 rebounds. 7 of those were offensive rebounds. At one point in the game, you know, the first 8 minutes of the game, they didn't have a turnover, but they ended up with 7 turnovers. So they kind of let the Huskies back into the game by giving them turnovers and opportunities to score.
Yeah. Friars actually got out to a great start in this game, led by Josh Oduro primarily in the middle. Providence got out to a 16-8 lead in the opening 8.5 minutes of the ball game, but in the last 11:29 on the clock, UConn only allowed Providence to score 12 points.
Yeah, I mean, their defense got better. You know, Friars had to go small. You know, Josh Oduro, who was played terrific in the ball game, picked up his 3rd foul, and he had to come out. And he didn't play the last 6-7 minutes of the ball game in the first half here. And, you know, without him on the floor, they didn't have Castro in there much either because he picked up his 2nd foul. So they went small. Gaines doing a good job inside. Gaines and Corey Floyd. Gaines played 19 minutes in that first half. They did a good job on the backboards of just being a presence out there. And Corey Floyd played 17 minutes, and he's had 5 rebounds in the ball game, Corey Floyd. So those 2 guys stepped up, didn't score a lot of points, but they were able to get the job done battling inside.
All right, more coming up from halftime in a moment. Friars down one of the break from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. Hey, Doug, I don't know if you recorded anything from the first half, but in the postgame show, we actually have a sponsored bit where we give the Audi Warwick performance of the game to the star player. So I don't know if you can do that or whatever, but we need to find some way to run one replay at least for the second half in the postgame show. Thank you. That's fine. That's all you can do. If you want, you can play something coming back from a commercial break here at halftime. I mean, it's entirely up to you if you have the wherewithal or the time to do it. But the time we really need it would be in the postgame show. Okay.
Students in Providence misses 2 consecutive free throws in the same foul. In the second half, 50 lucky students win a free round at Hassett Rouse. Now fans, check out the video board for tonight's scoreboard messages.
John Rooke and Joe Hassett back inside Gampel Pavilion where the UConn Huskies lead the Friars 29-28 at the break. Take an overall look at the numbers, but one number that actually kind of stands out to me right here, Joe, is the fact that UConn is 44-9 all time as a number one team and 12-1 on this floor at Gampel as number one team.
Well, when you're number one as a reason, you're pretty good. So probably your record's going to be pretty good too as a number one team. And they've got 5 national championships up there. So there's a reason why they have that good record as a number one.
And 5 natties in the last 25 years. Nobody can match that.
Well, yeah, we can. The women won 11.
Okay, on the men's side, we'll correct her.
You walk in here and see the banners. You look over there and say, that looks good. And you look at the other side. There's not really any more room for the women to put up a banner.
No more room at all. That's exactly right. In the first half, UConn shot 46% to 39% for the Friars. Both teams were 2 for 10 from 3. But the foul line is what kept UConn from really pulling away a little bit here. They were just 5 of 11 from the free throw line. Providence was 2 for 4. Rebounding, as you alluded to, Joe, Friars have a 22-15 edge on the backboards. That's impressive, but they did commit 7 turnovers in the last half of the first half.
Yeah, those turnovers hurt them. You know, there was a stretch there with like three in a row in the 3 possessions, and UConn scored every time when the Friars had that 8-point lead. But you know, you got to take better care of the ball, and you need to get yourselves to the foul line as well. You know, Friars only took 4 free throws in that first half. They only hit 2, but they only took 4. You know, where UConn takes 11. I mentioned already the fouls. It's a very physical game. I mean, if you're going to let them play, be physical, that's fine. But the fouls shouldn't be doubled up. Providence shouldn't have twice as many fouls as Connecticut. It should be about even. And then the Friars would get to the line a little bit more as well. And, you know, Connecticut has made more of the free throws than the Friars took in that first half. That discrepancy has to change.
Steph Gassel, the freshman, led UConn with 9 points in the first half, 7 for Alex Caravan. 9 points from Josh Oduro to lead the way in the first half. But then he had to go to the bench with his third foul with 6:38 remaining. So that'll be a tough nut to overcome. 7 points for Corey Floyd, who had a very good first half.
He didn't miss a shot, Corey Floyd. He was 3 for 3, 1 for 1 from 3. And those 5 rebounds, second leader rebounding for the Friars. He had a very good first half.
All right, so if you're Kim English, what do you do about the Josh Oduro issue with 3 fouls?
Well, you got to play him. You got to start him here in the second half. And, you know, I'm sure Clingan will start, and you try to go at Clingan right away. Maybe spread the floor like you came out in the first half, John, and keep it going like everything goes through Oduro.
All right, the second half is straight ahead. The Friars have never beaten the number 1 team on the road. Still looking for a little school history. We'll tell you about it coming up from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
You know, they had 2 big threes when the Friars were in a good rhythm. You know, Caravan hit that 3, and then Spence hit that 3. That's the only 2 they had, and they had them back to back.
Austin sent this. You got to stay on the floor.
Yeah, but you can't play him with fouls, you know.
I know.
This is our house. We have to protect it. Let's make noise. Everyone, get up. Let's go. Let's go.
Sean Rooke and Joe Hassett back live inside the Gampel Pavilion on the Connecticut campus. Getting ready for the second half to get started. A 29-28 lead for UConn at halftime over the Friars against the number one ranked team in the nation. What's most important here?
Josh O'Donnell can't pick his fourth foul up in the first couple of minutes of this half, that's for sure. You got to keep him on the floor. When he's on the floor, the Friars play well. And they had their way with Connecticut. I mean, they can score. He runs the offense from there. He does a good job defensively. And Clingan is starting in this half, too. So, Friars have to get off to a good start, John, this second half. You cannot try to fight from behind on this team. You got to get off to a good start like they did in the first half.
Friars on the road black, UConn on the home white. Providence opens up with possession to start the ball game here in the second half. Goes basket to our right on the radio. Right side for Carter. High post for Oduro. Starts the second half with a 3 foul. Now back to Carter in the right wing. Penetrates, gets to the foul line, leans in, bounce pass to Oduro. Up the foul. Clingan fouls him. Donovan Clingan with 2 fouls. Just picked up number 3. Only 18 seconds into the second half.
Great play coming out of the locker room. Kaminga set that up. He gets Carter off a screen. Now when Oduro sets the screen, you're going to be open. Carter turns the corner. Had to make a decision. Pump fake to try to block the shot. Bounce pass into Oduro in traffic. I love bounce pass. Teach young kids to throw that bounce pass in the paint.
Oduro's free throw is too strong and no good off the back iron.
Oduro, they've been trying to get Oduro to pump fake more because guys in this league want a shot block. You know, and Oduro, every time he catches now in the paint, he's pump faking, getting people off the floor.
9 points to lead the Friars in scoring in the first half. The second shot is on the way, in and out. Oh, my. Friars miss a chance to take the lead and still trail by 1.
2 for 6 from the line.
Here's Newton into the forecourt with it. High post, Caravan. Dribbles around the arc on the left side, hands off to Castle. Castle backdoor pass, drive underneath. They find Clingan, who scores on the way up.
They can't get beat on that one. You got to be scouted on that one. I know that play's coming up.
That's the first basket of the game for Donovan Clingan. And UConn has a 3-point lead. Their largest lead of the first half was only 4. Carter, right wing. High post, Oduro, who just missed a couple of free throws. Now finds Gaines. Top of the key, Oduro comes right. Carter, deep 3. Rattles in and out and back here again.
Well, he got that off a quick release right there. Castle's done a good job guarding him. But that might get Carter going now. You see that first one go through, you feel good.
That's just 7 points in the ball game for Devin Carter, but the Friars tie the score at 31. Spencer drives around the left on Carter. High post for Clingan. Clingan hands off for Castle. Castle comes around the arc on the left side, swings it back to Caravan, who drives, banks it up off the rim. No, rebound tap. Friars had it off of Pierre and out of bounds.
Well, Clingan kept that one alive on that one. Friars, it looked like they're going to get the rebound, but he slapped it off a Friar. New shot clock now for Connecticut.
So you have Clingan and Oduro still in the game. Both players in the game, 3 fouls. Here's the inbounds lob to Castle from the baseline. Spencer, open 3, left side is short. And the rebound off the glass, and it's taken by Caravan. He saves it, gives it to Castle. Left corner, Spencer again. Can't get that as the rebound tipped and saved by Gaines.
Good job by Gaines, boxing out there.
Friars looking for the lead. Pierre finds Gaines, left side for Floyd in front of his bench, feeding the post to Oduro. Turns, faces, Clingan, fakes, drives, up fakes, puts it up, no good. And a foul is called! Foul got called on Clingan!
Well, that's a late one right there, I'll tell you. That was the right one. I mean, I can't believe he blew a whistle on that one either. I mean, he got hurt. He put it across his hands. Carter's out of his mind right now. He is going bananas. They shouldn't have left Clingan in the game with 3 fouls.
And Donnie Haley just got a technical foul. An official Ron Grover for arguing that call. So Haley picks up a technical with 18:08 to go, and Oduro will go to the free throw line.
Maybe the refs looked at the stat sheet in the first half and saw they had double fouls on Connecticut over the fouls. The fouls again, you have to make it up, make it a review.
So Pierre will shoot the technical free throws, and he missed.
My goodness, that's 3 points to put off the board here. Come on, guys, you got to stop making free throws. Friars is 2 for 7 from the foul line.
And 0 for 3 to start the second half. Second shot is good. Just the 3rd point of the game for Jaden Pierre. That gives the Friars the lead. And now Oduro will step to the line to shoot the foul shots on Clingan. And Clingan comes out of the game with his 4th foul and 18:08 to play.
It's funny how you get foul trouble early in the game and you just never get any rhythm in the game. And that's what happened to Clingan in this one. Well, it happened to O'Donnell, got him in the foul trouble. They just kept going at him. O'Donnell has the 3 fouls. He's got to stay on the floor.
O'Donnell misses, and he just missed 3 in a row.
They're 2 best foul shooters, too. O'Donnell and Pierre.
Providence 1 for 5 from the foul line of the half. 3 for 9 in the game. And they have a lead over the number 1 team in the country. SMH. That's shaking my head, by the way. The second shot is good.
All right.
He got 1 of the 4 to go.
Can't do anything about the last ones. You just got to make the next ones you have. That's all.
33-31 Providence, 18 minutes to play. Castle hands off to Newton.
There's going to be a foul in this play. I'll guarantee you.
Newton drives right on Pierre. Basket to our left here in the second half.
I just hope it's not on O'Donnell.
Newton, left sideline, finds Castle. Castle looks underneath. Now comes the Caravan catch and shoot. Deep 3 up high, no good. Long rebound. Floyd high in the air with the basketball.
How about Corey Floyd? He's all over the place on the board.
Carter's in transition. He goes right to the basket, banks it up, draws the foul. It didn't go on, but he drew the foul on the floor, and he will shoot free throws. That was called on Castle.
Good job by O'Donnell. You see O'Donnell stopped at the foul line. The defense couldn't get around him, and Carter saw it, just exploded to the basket. That's where he's real effective. I mean, he might the 3, but he keeps going to the basket. He can finish there. There's no shot blocker back there now.
Well, Carter needs to step up and hit free throws. First free throws of the game. He's 71% on the season, and he hits the first one. That gives him now 8 points in the ball game. Foul on Castle is his first. That's 3 already on UConn.
How about Corey Floyd on the backboards in this game, John?
He's been great.
Terrific.
Floyd has 6 rebounds. Carter's second one is no good. And Newton tips the rebound to himself. The Friar lead is 3 with 17.5 to go, and it should be about 7 right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Castle has it to the center of the forecourt, top of the key with it. Floyd is on him, and the Friar man-to-man defense. Castle starts right, cuts to the left, looks for the back door, not there. Samson Johnson gives it back to Castle for 3, got it.
Castle's having a good ball game. They keep going underneath the screen. They want him to take that outside shot.
Castle nails his first 3. Daniel Haley gestures to the crowd to get them on their feet. We're tied at 34. Pierre out front of Bird. Long 3 is short. Gets his own rebound. Stops. Tries to penetrate. Kicks the ball back out for Carter, who fakes, who drives, splits the defenders, lays it up, missed the shot. Oh, there's the foul on O'Donnell. Get that foul on the gun. Carter was foul on the drive, Gaffney. Gaffney's awful. O'Donnell went over the backside of Samson Johnson to try to get the offensive rebound, and he just got called for number 4.
Carter got fouled on that drive. I mean, Gaffney is just horrendous. I wish he was never on a Providence game.
Pretty simple. These officials don't want the bigs to play in the game tonight.
It's just amazing. I mean, Carter goes to the basket and gets bumped a lot. They don't call it.
So Connecticut gets the ball. O'Donnell gets his 4th foul and goes out of the game. Johnson comes left for Newton. Newton dumps it off for Castle on the left flat. Floyd is guarding him, uses the screen, gets to the elbow. Back out front against Rafa Castro, who has to come in. Castle leans in. Castro got a piece of it. It's loose. It's down to the baseline by Samson Johnson. Now for Spencer. Can't get the 3. Rebound tapped out, and Castro called for a foul.
Castro's got to be
tell you, these guys have something in for the big guys out on the floor.
Well, that's a foul. I mean, Castro, he should have gotten a rebound. And if he squeezed that thing, he would have gotten the rebound right away. But now he's bleeding. He's bleeding from the nose.
So he's got to come out because he got a bust to the nose. That's his 3rd personal foul as well. 2nd team foul on the Friars.
Friars, well, they're in deep trouble now. You got O'Donnell with 4, Castro with 3. With 16.5 minutes to go in the second half. And might as well do with guards.
And the score is tied at 34-34. So here comes Castro as they get his nose taken care of. He gives it a big Smith and joins his teammates under the basket to our left. UConn with the ball, 20 to shoot. They'll inbound at baseline right of the basket. Newton looks for the inbounds pass, kicks the ball back out front for Caravan. He's picked up there by Gaines. Cross court to Spencer. Now Castle has it in the center. Drives to the right, stops, wants to dump it off. Carter's on Castle. They find Johnson in front of his bench. Johnson turns and looks. Finally dumps it off to Castle. Comes off a screen, moves to left, fires the three.
Castle's turning right now. Castle's doing a good job defensively. This player been heavy playing Newton, not allowing him to get the ball.
What is John Gaffney stopping play for?
Who knows? I mean, I think Newton and Pierre have been bumping with each other. I don't know what he's doing, but
Castle now has 15 points to lead all scorers in the game. He's 2 away from his UConn high as a freshman.
He's stepping up big time. Friars are taking out their main weapons in this game, Spencer and Newton.
But that's how deep this Connecticut team is. A freshman is leading the way. Connecticut by 3. I'm still not sure what John Gaffney has stopped play for. Now he gives the ball to the Friars, who will put it in play. And UConn has pressure in the backcourt. Pierre will bring it left to right into the forecourt, and the pressure falls off man-to-man.
Everybody's standing in this place, too. Good ball game.
Let's see if the Friars can find an answer. Carter out near the forward circle, drives to the right side. It's cut off there by Newton out front. Castle puts it up, off balance, no good. Rebound on the floor, picked up by Castro. He scores!
Good job by Castro hanging around the basket. That's what he's got to do. He's got to be tough in there. He's got to be physical, knock people around, get a chance to play.
Has 4. UConn's lead is 1. And
Castro's been bleeding out there. That's why he's bleeding from the nose.
The official is stopped play because there are drips of Castro's nose all over the floor. So the official calls an official timeout, which we'll take. 15:33 to play, and UConn leads by 1. From Learfield, this is Providence Fire basketball. Jeez.
Huh? Free throws are up 6 right now anyway. Gaffney sucks, man. Him and what's his name? James and Monroe Braden. Those 2 guys are horrendous. They get so many games.
Jesus.
Two of the 4 Odell fouls he's gotten has been on drives by Carter. Leto was fouled, and Odell went for the rebound.
The New England Laborers are training the workforce of today that will build tomorrow with state-of-the-art training academies throughout New England. You'll be equipped with the construction skills, knowledge, and experience to start your career and a better tomorrow. Liuna. Feel the power.
You know, I'm thinking about the 4 fouls that Odell has. He picked up 2 of those on drives by Carter. And Carter, I thought, was bumped to the basket on a couple of those plays. It could have been fouls where he could have gone to the line, and then Odell picked up the foul, going for the rebound, set over the back. So, good aggressive plays by the foul, but not getting the benefit of that on the first play by Carter. I mean, Carter's been getting to the basket and getting bumped around, but no calls for him. Hasn't been to the line but only 2 times in the ball game, and he's been taking a beating out there. The shooting starts in the second half here. UConn's 3 for 9 at 33%, 2 for 6 from 3. Fouls are 2 for 5 from the floor, 1 for 2 from 3-point range, but just 3 of 8 in the second half in the foul line, 37%. Friars could have a nice lead this game if they just knock some free throws down. But they're doing a good job on the backboards. They have 9 offensive rebounds. For the game, the Friars are 14 for 36 at 38%. UConn 14 of 33 at 35%. The stats don't really favor the Friars, John, but they're hanging in there, just down by 1 point.
Well, the Friars are last in the Big East in team free throw shooting at just a tick above 70% from the free throw line.
So they were 295th going into the game at Seton Hall 3 games ago, and they made 16 out of 17. But think about that. There's 320 Division I schools, and they're 295th in free throw percentage.
UConn with the basketball and a 1 point lead. Steph Castle, who's been the hero for them so far tonight, has it left side. Well, gets tipped by Gaines, but goes right into the UConn bench. And Connecticut will keep it with 19 to shoot.
See, they want to play off Castle. They're overplaying everybody else. They're overplaying Spencer and overplaying Newton. Pierre's doing a really good job on Newton. You don't hear his name much.
Now we've got a technical foul, a double technical foul called.
That's
Gaines and Johnson.
That's the dumbest call in basketball. They
Johnson,
double technical foul.
Johnson just gets his third. So UConn's in real trouble on the inside right now as well. Clarence Armstrong called a double tech on Johnson and Gaines.
Wow. I like it though. You didn't, yeah, I mean, but the double foul is ridiculous. Call the guys over and say, you do it again, I'm going to take the ball.
So the inbounds comes to Johnson at the top of the key. Now drives right, hands off, driving down the lane. Newton throws it up off balance, short, and Torrey Floyd snatches the rebound.
He's that guy again, Corey Floyd getting the rebound.
Friars looking to retake the lead on this possession. Gaines, right corner, Floyd steps back, drives the lane, curls around, missed the layup. Oh my God, he got underneath the basket and just put it off the rim.
And he had Caravan beat too. All they had to do is just stop and lay it up.
Up high with it is Johnson. Johnson goes back door. Newton, he spins inside, kicks it through. Caravan from the corner. No, it's in and out. Rebound comes down to Spencer. Spencer goes back up, got it blocked out of bounds. It'll be UConn ball.
UConn doing a better job in this half of getting on the offensive glass.
They are.
Friars have to get on the glass, and Spencer that time just gets in there. Friars are switching everything. Corey Floyd gets a rest.
And Garway Duval checks in. Spencer will inbound it from the baseline. 17 to shoot for the Huskies. Gives it up in the right corner. Newton curls around to the right elbow. Back to Spencer. Backs up. Now penetrates. Jump pass in and out. Stolen. Duval picks it up. Friars on the break. They got a 3-on-2. Left wing. Ticket. Drives. Stolen back. Down on the floor. Basket's free out of bounds. It will be. Who's ball? A whistle.
They're going to call a foul, I think.
They're going to call a foul? Friars have Gaines still down on the baseline, and the foul is called on UConn.
Yeah, Castro picked it up. I think somebody reached in on Castro, and they called the foul.
That is now 6 on UConn. The foul is called on Castle, who picks up his second.
I would like seeing Carter just go to the basket on that. They had 3-on-2 situation there. Just go down the middle there, and then dish it off to Gaines maybe for a layup.
The Friars will get it here. 27 to shoot. Inbounds, bounces to Pierre. Forecourt to our right. High screen set by Castro. Now finds Carter coming off the screen. He's going to go down the right side of the lane. Double teamed inside. Tries to up fake. Lobs it back out to Garway. Now plenty of time here. Garway goes between the legs. Drives, spins at the foul line. Backs it out for Carter. He's going to go up for a deep three. Off the back iron. It won't go in. It goes off the top of the backboard and out of bounds.
And he practices that shot all the time. He loves that shot. Shooting around, he's taking like 30 of those.
But he misses that. Carter, 1 for 4 from 3. Here comes Hassan Diarra into the game for UConn. Huskies with the ball and a 1-point lead. Friars just can't get over that hump again. Caravan hands off for Spencer, comes off the screen. Castle on the left wing. Castle's going to challenge Castro. He'll drive to the right side, lean inside, bank it up. Castro picks up his first foul. Steph Castle has definitely been the man for the Huskies.
Yeah, he's playing really good basketball. He won't settle for the outside shot, but he can make it. He's made 2 threes in the game. He had Castro on him, so he says, I'm going to take it by him. Now the fouls are really lean up front as Castro and Odoro sitting on the bench with 4 fouls.
Castle has 8.5. He's just tied his career high with 17 points. And he'll go to the line here for a new career high and still 13:53 to play in the game for the freshman from Covington, Georgia. A McDonald's All-American a year ago and a gold medalist on Team USA's U18 team a year ago as well.
He's poised out there for a freshman. I mean, he just plays a smooth game. He's been key in this one. Friars haven't let Newton run the break.
His free throw bounces and stays. And UConn now has matched their largest lead of the game at 4 points with 13:51 to go. Big possession here with the Flyers on offense. Pierre left, now pushes right for Duval. Duval has Diarra almost taken from him. Now he drives to the right side around Spencer, drives down into the post, losing the goal, and there's Diarra, comes up with a steal. Too much dribbling by Duval. Newton drives, wristed off the rim, loose on the floor, picked up by Kasser, kicks the ball out. Spencer for three, off the iron. Carter chases it down. Carter streaks into the forecourt of the left sideline. Carter drives and then gets. Oh my goodness!
That's a horrible call. They haven't been calling that all year.
Wow.
That's been a block. There's no way he's going to be able to get in front of Carter with the speedy ass backpedal.
And they call a foul on Carter, offensive, as Cam Spencer had no shot of stopping him from getting to the rim. So he just got in front of him. Carter bulldozed him and got called for the offensive foul.
It's a lot of. Oh, somebody got a technical foul too.
And a technical foul also just called on him English. That's Kim's third technical foul in the last 3 games.
He's getting holes right now. I mean, you can't call that. They haven't been calling blocks all year. I mean, offensive fouls, they've been calling blocks all year. This is what happens when you play a number 1 ranked team in conference. The referees go with them.
That's second shot by Spencer is good. He gets them both. He's got just 7 points in the ball game, but UConn now has their largest lead at 6, 42-36 with 13:19 to go. And you can start to feel this one slip away just a little bit because the Huskies also get possession of the ball after the bench technical call on Providence.
So Friars are supremely on-demand. They don't need officials wearing UConn Husky uniforms as well. I mean, Friars have 5 guards on the floor.
Here's Diarra into the forecourt with it, picked up by Corey Floyd between the circles. Now he'll bounce it high for Caravan. Caravan turns and looks, finds Castle on the 3-point stripe. Castle works his way down left. He spins on Gaines, goes up under, around the rim, gets his own rebound, and puts it home. Providence has no answer to Steph Castle. And Kim English calls timeout.
Well, they don't have an answer for him, that's for sure. I mean, they're good in this one. Castle play a big guy in this one. He can't play Castle.
Timeout with 12:57 to go. 34-36 Huskies. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. They're getting hosed. They are getting hosed.
Big time, man. You know, I always complain about the refs, and maybe because now you think I'm crying wolf too much, but they're getting screwed in this one, man, big time. It's ridiculous.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
Kim English being a rookie coach in the league, getting screwed. That's the bottom line.
Milton Cat, your Caterpillar equipment dealer for the Northeast, is a proud sponsor of Providence College Athletics. John and Joe back in Storrs It's going to be rough from the rest of the time on out here. It's already gotten rough for the Friars. They trail 44-36. Largest lead of the ballgame for Connecticut. The Huskies on a 7-0 run over the last minute, but a 13-2 run over the last 4:19 on the clock.
Well, the outscored the Friars 15-8 here in the second half. And the Friars hurt themselves a little bit, John, by missing those free throws early. They could have had a cushion in the game. But not having O'Donnell on the floor, that hurts. So Gas O'Donnell's only played 14 minutes in this ballgame. He's very effective when he's in there. He has 10 points and 7 rebounds. But he's not on the floor. The Friars have to play small. And they aren't able to stop Castle in the half-court offense. Castle is 7 for 13. He's 2 for 4 from 3. Has 20 points in the ballgame. Friars have done a terrific job on the two best guards for this Connecticut team. Cam Spencer only has 7 points, and Tristan Newton 0 for 3 from three-point range and just 2 for 8.
Yes, Newton combined is 4 for 16.
That's good guard play. I mean, Pierre's done a really good guarding Newton out there. He won't let him get the ball. Corey Floyd's done a good job defending. Friars' defense has been good, but they're just undersized. Look at the lineup out there now. Gaines is playing center. Pierre's on the floor with Barron, Floyd, and Carter. I mean, that's a small unit having to play against a big unit of UConn.
Rich Barron is checked into the game. Friars have 4 fouls on the bench with both Oduro and Castro.
Big possession right here for the Friars. They need to get a score.
Yep, 7 unanswered score here by the Huskies to take an 8-point lead. Pierre into the forecourt up the left sideline, going right to the basket. Puts it up and scores off the glass.
What a shot by Pierre with the left hand. Beat 2 defenders to the basket.
That's 5 for Pierre in the ball game, and the Friars stop the run, down by 6. Up high with it, Caravan left elbow. He throws it away. Castle cut to the basket. He threw it into the bench, and there's a turnover.
Well, Corey Floyd was on Castle right there, and they tried to let Castle isolate on the wing because he's having a good ball game, but Corey did a good job overplaying, and Caravan threw it away.
At what point do you bring Oduro back?
Oh, you got to wait till like the 8-minute mark. Or if you get down by 15, you got to bring him in.
And there's a whistle and a foul, and they will get Spencer for getting tangled up with Gaines. Cam Spencer's second foul. That puts the Friars shooting a 1-and-1 with 12:27 to go.
I don't know if that's good or bad right now, the way the Friars have been on the line, but, you know, you want to get some points here the easy way. Friars have an advantage now with that 1-and-1 situation with 12.5 to go in the second half.
So Gaines to the foul line, 72% on the season. His first try tonight. And the free throw for the lefty is no good. My goodness.
You know, you can't win a game like this.
You can't win a game if you can't hit free throws, especially in a game like this.
They're 5 for 14 from the foul line. It's crazy.
That's pathetic. Here's Castle on the left side. Comes off a screen set by Caravan to the right. Stops. Comes over the right wing now for Spencer. Moves the ball back to the center. Hands off for Newton. Newton jump pass. Back to Spencer. Gets off the big three. Off the iron. No good. Rebound for Carter. Carter tries to lead the break into the forecourt. Left to right. Goes right to the rim on Diarra. Got it stripped. Knocked out of bounds. Providence will keep it.
Carter can't get a call. I mean, he's initiating the contact there.
He's getting beaten up.
I mean, he's
getting beat every time he gets into the lane, and he has not gotten a call yet.
I mean, he's the leading scorer in the Big East. He gets no respect out here.
We'll take the break. Timeout. 11:59 to go. 44-38. Connecticut. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. Both teams are in the bonus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both teams in the bonus?
Yeah. Yeah, we have 6, so the next one puts them in the bonus.
Carter's just 3 for 12 in this game. We're 5 for 13 on the foul line, and we're in the game.
Yes. For water, fire, or mold damage, call Rhode Island Restoration 401-414-1111. Rhode Island's top choice for property damage cleanup and repair. Emergency service available 24/7.
Friars hanging tough, John. It's down 6 right now, and you consider Devin Carter's just 3 for 12 and 1 for 4 from 3 with 8 points.
And the team just 3 for 9 from the free throw line in the second half.
3 for 13 from the three-point line and 3 for 9 in the second half on free throws. 5 for 13 overall. Think about it. I mean, you take those two stats. If Carter's just shooting 50%, well, ifs and buts are candy and nuts. You know, every day will be Christmas. But the defensive effort has been spectacular in this one. They're hanging tough in there. They're playing good D. Holding UConn, John, to just 4 for 19 from three-point range. It's a very good UConn shooting team. UConn averages 82 points a game.
UConn's the number 1 three-point shooting team in the Big East at 37% and making 9 per game.
Well, and their best shooter, Cam Spencer, just 1 for 7 from beyond the arc and 2 for 9 overall. Tristan Newton is just 2 for 8 and over 3 from 3. So, you know, you're winning those battles. You just got to do a better job at making free throws.
There is no height advantage right now because Johnson and Clingan both on the bench in foul trouble.
Well, Callaghan's on the floor at 6'10". He's playing Barron at 6'5".
Inbounds, Pierre, baseline left, bank inside the Gaines. He got stripped and fouled by Spencer from behind.
Gaffney blew it out late, too.
And he blew it from way outside the
I
play.
mean, no, it just seems like you won't give him a call.
That's 3 on Spencer. And it will be Ticket Gaines to go to the free throw line, who is 0 for 1.
How about that out-of-bounds play coming out of timeout? That was a perfect one. Gaines had a dunk.
The Gaines again, 71% from the line on the season, averaging 9.1 points per game. The free throw is in and out. My goodness gracious.
Oh, man. This is awful.
It's almost like
so
you're
hard.
scared to watch it go up because it's just not going to go in.
You work so hard to get to the line. You've been doing that well, and you go to the line with nobody on you. You got to make these shots.
Second shot is good. So he's hit 1 of 3. That's 5 points, and it's 44-39. You're still down by 5. We got 11:53 to play. Newton drives left, hands off for DR on the left side. Up high with it is Castle. Hands off to Newton, cuts to the right on Gaines, and Gaines will get him with the bottom. Just the second foul on Ticket Gaines.
Gaines says, we've been doing that all game. If you're going to call that foul on Gaines, how do you not call the fouls when Devin Carter goes in the basket? Every time he goes in the basket, he gets hammered.
It's just so incredibly inconsistent. I mean,
I think they're caught.
Nobody wants to whine about the officials because it's really, I mean, you got two high-caliber teams going at each other, but you got to call it the same way on both sides of the floor.
Well, I whine all the time, so it probably doesn't make any sense with me complaining. But I mean, this is just pathetic.
There's a 1-and-1 for Tristan Newton on the 17th foul.
See, I got bad memories of officials when I played. You couldn't say anything. And they were bad back then, too. I mean, they're awful all the time.
It's the first one.
These guys will be awful when they're not refereeing.
And
can that be possible?
No. No. Well, you never know. Newton's 3 of 6 from the foul line himself tonight, so he hadn't been great. But he got that. And the second shot is down the way, and he gets them both.
Doesn't matter what you just did. You got to take care of it now.
7-point Connecticut lead. Pierre into the forecourt on the left side in front of his bench. Looking for some help. He curls to the right. He's going to go up for a deep 3. It's short. Long rebound. Carter chases it down in front of his bench.
Bring it back out and set something up.
Carter now moves in down in the post on Newton. Backs his way all the way in. With a reverse layup, it's in. And he got the rebound. Chased down by Floyd on the fly. Curry saves it up Barron. Barron goes left for Gaines. Now back to Floyd in front of his bench. Floyd pushes right to Pierre. 10 to shoot. Pierre beats Newton down the lane. Dumps it off, and Gaines can't hold it. It squirts free. It's still on the floor. Pierre's down on the floor. Gaines is there. UConn is there. A held ball, and the error belongs to UConn.
Tell you what,
man,
this Friar team, man, they are battling out there. So is Connecticut. The Connecticut doing a nice job of reaching in and deflecting those passes. Friars have some looks to score. Carter makes a great move on the layup and just
Gaines can't hold the ball.
Carter should have made the layup, but it spun out on him. Makes a good move there.
That's 11 turnovers for the game for the Friars, by the way. So UConn has it with a 7-point lead. Long pass into the forecourt. Diari overthrows. Gaines gets it. Gaines pulls it the other way. Finds Carter. Hands off, and then Carter. Gaines slipped to the floor and goes down with the bar. What's the call?
Carter wants a
foul because Gaines slipped on the floor and went out of bounds with the bar, and a foul was called on Connecticut.
We're going to look at it, see if he pushed him on that play.
They're going to call it on Steph Castle. They're going to call a foul on Castle. And it looks like they will go to the monitor at the table on the far side and potentially look at it and see if he was shoved to the floor. That's 3 on Castle.
I don't think that was a flagrant of what I saw. I thought Gaines was just, he got tangled up in his feet and it looked like he was pushed down.
I hate to say it, Joe, but I think these officials have kind of lost control of this one.
They lost control a long time ago. But I'm impressed with this Friar team. O'Donnell's not even playing. He hasn't played the whole second half here much. He picked up that 4th foul. He's only played 14 minutes, and the Friars are right in this game.
So they call Clarence Armstrong over to look at it as well after both John Gaffney and Ron Groover look at it. Just across the floor from our courtside position here, in between the 2 benches.
This is a game, though, John, when you got to take advantage of getting Clingan those 4 fouls. The big fellow inside, he hasn't played much either. The Friars haven't been able to take advantage of it by making free throws. You know, Clingan's only played 5 minutes in the game, 5 minutes and 52 seconds. You know, Josh O'Donnell's played 14. So you get a guy like Clingan out of the game, you know, you got to take advantage of that. Friars haven't
been able to do it.
They can make the free throws. It's unbelievable.
Make the free throws, you're leading this game.
Friars are 6 for 15 from the foul line. I mean, if you were shooting,
if you make the free throws, you're leading the game. Simple.
You wouldn't even be happy 6 for 15.
No flagrant.
I knew it wouldn't be a flagrant. He just fell.
Clarence Armstrong's coming over to tell the FS1 TV crew. I think it's just a common foul. And so it's going to put Gaines at the free throw line. I thought he just slipped on sweat or something.
I saw the pass going to him. I said, oh, no. And then I thought he slipped. But there was a push, I guess, and gets to the line.
So Ticket's 1 for 3 from the line.
You know, it's funny how
and the first shot here is good.
You know, it's funny. Every kid that gets fouled, he just like they fall on the floor and embellish it, hoping that they go check the monitor. Maybe you get an extra shot out of it.
Right. So Gaines now will try to complete the back end of the 1-and-1 here. Friars crack the 40 mark with 10:48 to play in the ballgame. Second shot is up, bounces, comes out. Unbelievable. Son of a gun. 46-40, Connecticut. 10:43 on the clock. Newton into the forecourt with it against Jaden Pierre. Now cuts to the right. Friars fall back, switch on defense. Caravan, a deep 3, right wing, no good. Rebound, offensive foul put up. Or offensive rebound put up and fouled to the floor.
I think Newton's going to hit the foul shot, so shot went up. Friars didn't put a body on him.
Foul is called on Corey Floyd. And it will be Tristan Newton to go to the free throw line. So he got through, got the offensive rebound, put it back up. Floyd got him from behind. Corey picks up his first, but it'll be 2 shots here. And the difference now is Connecticut starts to hit some free throws. The Friars still are not. The first one here bounces and no good.
It's Connecticut now is 10 for 17 from the foul line. Friars are just 7 for 17.
So they've made 3 more than the Friars, and they lead by 6. So Connecticut's mediocre free throw shooting kind of keeping Providence around in this one. Second shot for Newton is good.
At some point, Clingan and O'Donnell are going to come back into the ballgame. Friars have to just try to keep it as close as possible.
Yep. 9 for Newton in the game. 7-point Connecticut lead. Pierre into the forecourt up the left sideline, right in front of his bench. Going to look for a quick pass down low. Carter stuffs it.
Boy, they set that up nice out of the
10 points now for Devin Carter.
Come in and set that up with the high screen. They get the back door for Devin.
47-42. Spencer now to Caravan between the circles. Caravan hands off for Castle. Castle comes right, finds Tristan Newton, guarded there by Barron. High post, Diarra goes high low for Caravan, lays it up, scores and gets fouled.
That was a case there by Connecticut.
Very good.
They had a mismatch inside for Caravan. He had Diarra on the fouls were switching, and the big guy back there was able to throw a lob in there as the fouls were fronting. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to front the post there, whoever guards the ball outside trying to pass has to make him turn his back. You can't allow him to see the lane in there.
Yeah.
So when you're playing that type of defense, you got to get up on him. On the passer.
Third personal foul on Jaden Pierre. Caravan's first point of the second half, and his free throw is up and good. He's got 10 points for the Huskies.
He's the only big guy out there. Look for them to start going to him now inside.
They've now matched their longest lead of the game at 8. It's 50-42. Left sideline again for Pierre. Now finds Carter, who drives to the right, loses the dribble, saves it from going out of bounds. He's double teamed in trouble. The ball is saved. It comes right out of bounds on the left side. Last touch by Newton. And the Flyers are going to get a gift to get the ball back.
Yeah, that was a dunk right there, but Doyle's going to check back in now with the 4 fouls, and looks like Clingan back in.
And Clingan is back in. So the two players with 4 fouls, the two bigs, come back into the game with 9:35 left on the clock.
Yeah, as soon as O'Donnell went in, he said, okay, you go in, Clingan.
See how this works out. Friars still have possession. They got 12 on the shot clock.
Both guys are rusty right now. They've been sitting the whole ball game.
I go right to him. Pierre finds Oduro at the top of the key. Oduro looks right, moves left, backs his way in, jump hook up, and it is in over Clingan.
How about that shot coming off the big sudden curve? That's a tough shot. Clingan 7 feet tall.
Long pass to Castle on the left sideline. Castle now gets to the free throw line, works to the right side, leans in, dumps it off for Clingan, who puts it up, and Carter reaches in and fouls him.
Good foul by Carter. Put Clingan on the line, make him make some free throws there. Otherwise, he had a layup.
Carter's third personal, so that bears watching here with 9:14 to go.
See, that's what the Flyers weren't doing with Castle before. They kept going underneath the screen and making Castle make a decision to shoot the ball. Because when you switch, they throw it right to Clingan because he has a guard on him. And that's the first time the Flyers have switched in that situation. They got it to Clingan.
10 team fouls on the Friars, so double bonus for UConn the rest of the way. And Clingan's first one is no good.
Yeah, I mean, you keep fouling him. He's not a very good foul shooter to begin
He's
with.
a 52% foul shooter on the season.
And he hasn't played the whole game. He's played 5 minutes, so he's not in any kind of rhythm right now. So you take your chances and put him on the line. You just can't foul everybody out of the game.
Has just 2 points. Second shot, bounces and stays. He's got 3, and UConn is up 7. Friars have the ball. 9:12 on the clock. Pierre works it into the forecourt against Tristan Newton, keeps the dribble low, works outside the arc left, feeds Oduro, drives right, looks down into the post on Clingan, goes up, scores.
Oduro says, hey, I'm going right at him.
I don't blame him.
Good play there by Oduro. That was smart. They should go into Clingan, try to get Oduro out of the game.
Oduro has 14 points. Friars back within 5. Got to get a stop here on the left side for Newton. Pierre's right there in front of him. Newton turns and looks. Dumps it back out front now for Castle. Castle uses the big fella as a screener. Pushes to Caravan. Penetrates the elbow. Out to Castle. He'll penetrate into the lane. Right side on the ball. Blocked by Garway. Gets the ball back. Castle kicks the ball out to Caravan. Left for 3. Off the rim. No good. Rebound tapped out. Clingan pulls it down and scores.
It's just a size matters. Size matters right there. Tim English wants a timeout. Oh, no, he thought it was a technical foul. I don't know if he was doing a tee over there dancing.
He wanted a timeout. Clarence Armstrong says you got to wait because the ball's not in play. So if you want the timeout, you can get it when you put it back in play. Oduro
technical on let's knock the ball out of bounds.
For knocking the ball away from
big rebound by Clingan right there. Fries stopped the initial shot.
Sure did. 7-point game again. Pierre bounces right. Carter comes off the screen. Out to Oduro, free throw line jumper. Up and on for Josh.
How about Oduro, man? He is playing terrific. I'm off the bench. He scored 3 straight baskets.
Hit it from the left elbow. 53-48. Friars hanging around. 7:50 to go. Caravan, high post. Looks at Gaines. Hands off to Newton. Cuts to the right. Now shares it there. Clingan up high. Comes left for Caravan. Caravan wants to work on Gaines. One dribble, hands off to Newton, cuts to the right, 5 to shoot, stops at the elbow, right corner. Spencer, deep three is no good. And the rebound there, but a foul on the floor before the rebound, says John Gaffney. And it's going to be on Providence.
Man.
And the foul is called on Gaines. And all of a sudden, UConn is ruling the backboards like we feared they might. 7:30 to go. Timeout. UConn 53, Providence 48. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball.
See, they stopped the last 2 possessions. The first shot went over to get the rebound.
Can't get the ball.
And I wouldn't have thought O'Donnell could make a shot. He's 3 for 3.
Man.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's amazing. Everybody's standing up in here. So it's like the 15-minute mark.
SeatGeek is now the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Providence Friars. Whether you're buying or selling basketball tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Friar fans can fan. John and Joe and Storrs, still 7.5 minutes to go. 53-48. Foul trouble really become a factor. Free throws really becoming a factor. Can the Friars stay in it?
They're in it. They're doing a lot of good out there, doing a good job of stopping that initial shot by UConn, but UConn's able to get the offensive rebound. You know, Friars did a good job of keeping them off the glass in the first half on the offensive glass. When they missed the shot, they weren't getting a second chance. But in this half, UConn has 14 offensive rebounds now in the ball game. Right rebound the Friars 35-31. Friars have 11 offensive rebounds, but if you can stay within 2 or 3 rebounds, that's good. The Friars have to box out and not allow them a second chance. And then when you put them on the line, you know, it defeats your purpose on the defensive side. But I love the way the Friars are playing, though, John. They're banging it out. They're shooting 41% for the game. Only UConn at just 37%. UConn's 4 for 22 from 3 at 18%. Friars is killing themselves on the foul line, though. Just 7 for 17.
Yep.
UConn, not much better, though. 13 of 21, but they're outscoring the Friars by 6 points on the foul line. And this game is a 5-point game. So all things being said, the foul trouble, you look at the foul trouble, Odora has 4, Gaines 3, Pierre 3, Carter 3, Castro 4. On UConn side, Clingan has 4, Castle has 3, Spencer has 3, and Samson Johnson has 3. Total fouls for both teams, John. Friars have 22 total fouls to 15. That's a stat I don't normally look at. But in a physical game like this, you like it to be even. You know, it's caught up a little bit, but Connecticut now gets to go to the foul line and try to improve their foul shooting. Friars, when they get to the line, they have to make them from now on. There's a ton of time to go in this game, too, 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, with all the whistles and all the timeouts, this game is taking forever.
It is. But the key part of this one is going to be Odell with the 4 fouls. Connecticut can win without Clingan in the ballgame.
I'm sure the Friars can win without Odell.
They can't win this ballgame without Odell on the floor. When he's on the floor, they've been winning. If you put him on the floor the whole time, then they have a lead in this ballgame.
So the foul was called on Gaines, who picks up his 3rd personal. It'll be 2 shots at the line again for Tristan Newton.
This guy's always in the middle of things. You know, he's had 2 offensive rebounds. That's why he's sitting on the foul line here.
And Newton, who's hit 3 of 4 in the second half, misses the first one. Tristan Newton is 5 for 10.
It becomes contagious. You guys start thinking about it now. You go to the line, you think like, man, I can't miss another one, instead of thinking about making it.
Second shot for Newton is on the way and good. 4 points in the second half. He's now got 10 points for the ball game. And it's a 6-point Connecticut lead. Friars with the basketball, 7:25 on the clock. Pierre, low dribble into the forecourt, right sideline, finds Carter. Carter, who's covered by Castle, up high now for Duval, shares it left for Pierre. Pierre looks for the clear through, not there. He wants Duval to go. Pierre will drive to the right, kicks the ball out to Oduro. 6 to shoot, hands off to Gaines. Gaines fires a 3. Off the front rim, no good. Long rebound out to Spencer.
Good defense by Connecticut on that one. Good challenge there by Caravan.
Right side for Castle. Ball gets tipped, goes out of bounds. There's a reach-in foul call as Castle, Tristan Newton gets bumped. And another foul on the Friars, and again, Newton's going to go right back to the free throw line.
He's done a good job on him the whole ball game of denying him the ball, but that time you got to worry about making a 3.
That's now 4 on Jaden Pierre, Joe, with 6:56 still to play. This game is never going to end.
This is a lot of time left, too.
That's what I mean, though.
The Friars might run out of players the way they're going here with all these fouls.
Newton's going to take free throws number 12 and 13 of the ball game. And the first one is good.
You see, he's such a good player, though. You know, you got to worry about the 3-point shot. He's had struggle shooting that tonight, but he can make them. So he gives you a little head fake, and then he goes to the basket, and he can finish. He's strong when he gets to the basket, and he draws contact pretty well.
Duval comes out of the game. Corey Floyd checks back in. So it's Gaines, Carter, Oduro, Floyd, and Barron out on the floor right now. Tristan Newton, who has 11 points. Castle has 20 to lead them. Newton has 11. Caravan has 10. Second shot by Newton. He got them both.
Newton's kind of taking charge out here. He hasn't had a great ball game, but late here in the game, he's done a good job. And Castle really has deferred to him.
Could be another turning point right here. Back to an 8-point game. Barron goes left for Carter. Carter between the circles. Finds Oduro on the high post. Turns, looks. At Clingan spins in the lane, double team. Barron got stolen, but Spencer got it back. They find Carter in the left wing. Follows the 3 and got fouled on the 3-pointer. And for his own bench.
By Castle right there in front of the far bench. Good pump fake by Carter. That's again, when you talk about Tristan Newton pump faking, you know about the 3.
And that is
Castle was worried about it.
That's 4 fouls on Steph Castle with 6:34 still to go. Are we timing this game with a sundial?
No, you know, it's amazing, too. This has been a good crowd here at UConn. I mean, everybody's they've been standing since the 13-minute mark of this game.
Well, Gampel's sold out just about every time. It seats a little better than 10,200 in here. There's not a vacant seat to be seen, as you would expect for the number 1 team of the nation. So Carter's going to get 3 free throws here.
Well, UConn does a good job of supporting their team, that's for sure.
No question. And I'm not sure what John Gaffney is telling
the fans are booing. You don't have to have anybody on the line.
Not for 3 free throws.
There's no rules for that.
So there's 4 players in front of Kim. Where Carter misses the first free throw.
Hey, there's nothing you can say about that.
UConn has outscored Providence 16-7 from the free throw line. The margin of the game is 8. The margin from the line is 9. Enough said. Second shot is good.
And the Friars the last 2 games have done a good job making free throws, but has jumped up and bit them. And this one just 8 for 19 from foul line. I mean, if you were shooting that from the field, you wouldn't like it. And the foul line, there's nobody on you.
Carter has a 3rd try on the way, and it's good. It gets 2 of 3. 8 points in the half, 12 for the game for Devin. It's 56-50. 6.5 to play. Into the forecourt with it is Newton up the right sideline. Spencer, now high post Clingan, comes left for Diarra, who just checked back in. He'll go against Rich Barron. Pass out front, Caravan gives it to Diarra, takes it around the arc to the right side toward his bench. Pass comes back left for Caravan. He'll drive on Barron, tries to step through a double team. And again, the whistle gets blown Oh, my. And there is Carter with the foul, and that is 4 on Devin Carter. This is truly a war of attrition.
Yeah, Fry's going to run out of players. I mean, everybody's got 4 fouls.
Carter has 4. Oduro has 4. Pierre has 4. Castro has 4. Caravan to the foul line, who only has 1 foul tonight, has 2 free throws. And the 88% foul shooter on the season is 1 for 1. And now he's 2 for 2. That's just his 4th point of the half. It gives him 11 for the game, and UConn back up 7.
You see that move right there? I mean, you got Hurley over there in the area. The official just blew that call. But
second shot, Caravan is good.
Listen, that move in the first half, nothing was called.
Full court pressure in the backcourt for Connecticut. And Corey Floyd gets the ball. He'll bring it up man on man against Cam Spencer. Crosses the mid-floor line. Another crucial point of the game here as we get close to 6 minutes to play. And Providence down 8. Left side, Oduro in the post. He'll drive on Clingan. Works up and under. Turnaround jump shot. Good again for Oduro.
Oduro is unbelievable. This is the best game of his life. He's been terrific.
9.5, 18 for the game to lead the Friars.
He's keeping them hanging in there. You got to play some defense now and make sure you get a stop.
And get a rebound. Spencer dribbles on the left wing. High post to Clingan. Clingan looks back door. 1 dribble, 2 dribbles around the arc left. Cuts it back to the right for Newton. Newton gets around the screen. Right down the lane. Stolen. Picked up by Oduro. Up before the Carter. Carter 1-on-1 with Spencer. Leans inside. Banks it up and scores.
Good play there by Carter. Nice defense too by Oduro. Was able to deflect that one away and get the loose ball.
Great game. 5:15 to go. Yeah, into the fourth court. Timeout. Dan Haley and the Huskies.
How about this Fry team? I mean, come on. They've been playing terrific.
They have been.
I mean, the defense has been solid, and Oduro's just been a monster out there. He is like a nightmare matchup right now. He is wearing Clingan out. Clingan 7'2". He's taking him to the basket, shooting jumpers right over him.
30-second timeout for the Huskies. So each team now has 2 timeouts remaining. Both teams have 1 full and 1 30-second timeout left for the final 5:14 of the period. Both teams are in the double bonus, shooting 2 free throws at the line.
I said to you, John, at halftime, I said, if the Friars can keep this like a 2 or 3 point game with 3.5, 4 minutes to go, pressure will be on UConn. The Friars now, they got to pop in their step. I just hope they don't run out of people because everybody's got foul. Pierre's just checking in now. He has 4 fouls, so I think everybody on the floor right now has 4 fouls for the Friars.
So the Friars have 4, as we just said, with 4 fouls. Clingan has 4. Castle has 4. And that's it for Connecticut. You have 3 fouls for Spencer, and you have 3 fouls for Samson Johnson. No fouls for Tristan Newton, by the way.
Personal fouls. Connecticut has 16 personal fouls total against them. Think about the game, how slow it's been. The Friars have 24 personal fouls to 16 for Connecticut. It's a big number there.
UConn will inbound in front of the bench to the far side. Again, forecourt to our left. Hassan Diarra, the transfer from Texas A&M, gets it to Caravan, gets it around Ticket Gaines. Caravan now holds on to the dribble. Stops for Newton. Newton curls to the left. Picked up by Floyd, cuts to the right, drives down the lane, lays it.
Gaffney is awful. He is awful.
And Newton, on his way to the basket, hooked Corey Floyd. We saw it right in front of us. It didn't get called. What's the call? So the foul is called on the floor, no basket. He'll shoot free throws instead.
Come on, man.
Floyd gets called for his 2nd personal.
Gaffney stinks.
And now the referees have to talk about it. Now he's going to give him the basket.
I mean, the crowd come into that one. He's a veteran official. That's the same guy that did our Kansas game when he called a phantom charge on the point guard. What was the point guard's name for Providence?
You're asking me too much. My memory didn't go back that far.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I know who you're talking about. It was Remy Martin.
Yeah, Remy Martin took the offensive foul, but that was a block all day long. Trials were up 1 at that point. Gaffney made the call.
Newton's first field goal of the second half, and he makes the free throw. And UConn goes back up by 7 after the Friars had closed within 4. And we got an even 5 minutes to play. Was that the first dagger? We're getting ready to find out.
You know Odell again, you know that.
Pierre works the left side off the Odell screen. Josh gets into the high post, goes right to Carter. Carter gets by Newton, goes back out to Odell, who launches the 3. Off the back iron. Carter with the offensive rebound. Carter may try to post up Newton on the right side. Works in the lane, leans in, puts it up. Won't get it, draws the foul. First foul of the game called on Tristan Newton.
Newton got a little bit of his own medicine right there. It was a good job by Carter. He took his time, got patient, pump faked a little bit, and got Newton to reach across and picked up the foul on him.
So Carter will get 2 shots at the line. And Devin is at 3 of 5 from the line in the second half. Hits the first one here. 4 of 6 from the line for the ball game as well. And that now gives him 15 points.
I think this would be a much better game if the teams just called their own fouls.
Nobody would call them. Second shot for Carter. In and out.
It'd be a heck of a game if the Friars were making free throws. They'd be ahead in this ball game.
61-55, 4.5 to play. Time to make a stand, one way or the other. You got a lot of guys in foul trouble. Left side with it on the sideline is Newton. Newton drives to the right. Friars double out on him. He's got some trouble there, double team. On Clingan at the foul line, he drives. Newton gets it back, or Clingan gets it back and puts it in.
Odell came from behind and blocked that one. What a big defensive play.
Here's Carter trying to answer. Lays it up from the left side. Scores!
Good play by Carter, boy. He's so fast. He got to beat the defense down the floor.
It may be time for Superman to put on his cape. 63-57.
Plenty of
3:50
time.
left on the clock.
Plenty of time. You got to get stops now. No fouls.
Spencer out near the mid-floor line. Drives left with the left hand. Goes all the way down. Leans in. Puts up the shot. Won't get it. And Jaden Pierre has just fouled out of the game.
That's the same move that Carter's made the whole ball game.
And he doesn't get the
And never
foul.
calls that foul.
And
That's what.
And then there's
the same damn thing.
Tim English is telling us
There's all game long.
right now to Ron Grover. He's trying to explain we've had that play all game long, and you haven't called it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a terrible. I mean, if you're not going to call it for Carter, you shouldn't call it on that play right there.
We got a timeout, Joe. 3:43 to go. Jaden Pierre has just fouled out. Friars down 6. From Learfield, this is Providence Friar basketball. Oh, Jesus. Come on. John and Joe back in Storrs with 3:43 to go and a 6-point Connecticut lead. You've got Caravan and Spencer for UConn are the only high major teammates in the country with 100 or more made 3-point field goals, I should say attempted, and they have made more than 40. They're the only pair of teammates that shoot over 40% from three. And in this game, they are combined 6 for 19.
Yeah, Fowler's doing a good job playing defense the whole ball game. What's killed them is the foul line. They've missed so many free throws. They're just 10 for 22. But UConn is 19 for 28. UConn's outscored the Flyers 19 to 10 from the foul line.
There's your ball game.
Flyers have 26 team fouls to 17 for Connecticut. You can throw all the other stats out. You get beat 19 to 10 on the foul line. That's the score right now. They're down 6. They're down 9 on the foul line. Just a lot of fouls that were inconsistently called. I mean, Devin Carter, that's like, he's made that move 6 or 7 times in this ball game and didn't get a foul call going to basket. Spencer does the same thing, who's half as fast as Carter is, and he gets to the foul line leading in. It's just very inconsistent. I think these referees are caught up in who's number one.
Jaden Pierre fouls out with 3:43 to go and 5 points. Rich Barron comes into the game to replace him. Actually, I think it's Corey Floyd that slipped in, and it puts Cam Spencer at the foul line shooting 2 here. And a chance to put UConn back up by 8 as he makes the free throw. Spencer's not one of those guys that's going to miss 88% from the line. He's got 8 points in the ball game. He's a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
Well, you notice how they get the key guys to the line too, Connecticut. Spencer and Newton have been to the line here. Seems like either one of those two guys are going to the line every time in the second half.
Gets them both. It's an 8-point game, and time is beginning to dwindle. Offensive rebounding has also been very impressive for Connecticut here in the second half. Floyd playing a little point now, scoots to the right outside the arc. Now pushes back left for Oduro. He thought about that deep three. He's going to drive around Clingan with a reverse wraparound on a score.
Well, Clingan's got to go out and get him. Good pump fake by Oduro. He gets by Clingan, no problem.
11 in the half, 20 in the game for Josh Oduro. Playing with 4 fouls, and the Friars again back within 6. But you got to get stops, and you got to get loose balls. Diarra, left sideline, high post for Clingan. Wants to go right. Floyd cuts off the passing lane. Now Spencer gets it, curls to the left, drives to the left, throws up the runner, scores.
Good smooth move there by Spencer. You know, veteran guard, 50th senior, those guys used to have. They don't get rattled.
Grad student, transfer from Rutgers, began his career at Loyola. Left side, they find Gaines at the top of the key. They wrap around to Oduro. Oduro might try to do that again on the Clingan. To the left side in front of his bench, going to take him off the dribble, get into the lane. He stops, right corner, Barron for 3. Come
Barron, how about Barron? I love it. Good pass there, too, to Barron. The young freshman steps up there and knocks down the 3.
And a timeout immediately called by Kim English. 2:32 to go. First basket of the game for the Flyer freshman. A 30-second timeout on the floor. And it's 67 to 62.
That's the best part about that, John. Barron didn't even hesitate. You know, it's the first basket of the game, but he caught that in clutch situation. Yeah, you're going to make that. He knocks it down, gets the Friars within 5 with 2.5 to go. And they're still in this ballgame. They just have to get some stops on this end.
Got to find a way to get some stops. 2:32 to go. The Friars have 1 timeout left. UConn has 2 left. Again, both teams have the double bonus. Friars have already had Jaden Pierre foul out. You've got Devin Carter, Josh Oduro, and Rafael Castro with 4 fouls. 3 fouls on ticket games.
How many timeouts left for the Friars?
1.
There's 1, okay. Well, it's a big possession right here. UConn's been able to keep that 5-point lead for the last 7 or 8 minutes. The Friars can get a stop here and score, and puts a lot of heat on Connecticut to score. Connecticut feels like they have control of the game, but the Friars just won't go away.
So after the timeout, my Kim English called here. UConn will rebound the basketball in the backcourt. Providence is going to put on some pressure in the backcourt as well. Caravan will inbound it. Gaines is in front of him. Baseline to our right. He can run the baseline. He inbounds the ball to Newton. There's a double team. Back to Caravan. Caravan, quick pass to Spencer. Now back to Newton as they break the pressure into the forecourt. Spencer grabs it between the circles. High post. Clingan turns, looks to the basket, comes left for Caravan. Caravan dumps it off for Newton. Now pushes right. Back to Clingan with 8 to shoot. Clingan hands off to Newton. Newton got bounced and got bumped, and they're going to call Gaines for the foul on Newton. I can't believe that wasn't called immediately.
Yeah, that was a foul.
It was a foul.
Gaines trying to beat him to the spot, but Connecticut is doing a lot of window dressing with the ball there, but they want to get the ball into Newton's hands.
And they
late in the shot clock, and they got it to him, and Gaines just tried to jump that screen, and he bumped into him and pushed him.
That's 4 on ticket. 2 shots here for Tristan Newton, who's done most of his damage from the free throw line tonight.
Well,
Newton is 9 for 14 from the foul line, has 15 points.
you know, the fans helped to get that call there. Gaffney looked like he wasn't going to call it, and the fans was like, "What is that?" And he finally woke up and said, "Yeah, that's a foul."
Hits the first free throw, had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists in their 43-point win Sunday against Xavier.
Seems like they've been here on the foul line here the last 6-7 minutes.
Yeah, they've got 31 free throws. Second shot, no good. Gaines with a rebound. It's a 6-point, 2-possession game. We're coming up on 2 minutes to play. Floyd has it left sideline, high screen set, cuts to the right side, out on the perimeter. Floyd with a left-hand dribble. Gaines for 3. Yes!
No,
Oh, my goodness, they call a foul before it.
on Castle guarding, I think,
And then they call
going to the basket.
2 free throws, so it would have been before the shot was taken. Oh, my goodness. Gaines hit the 3, too.
He set that up nice. It was like, if you can get a 3 there, it'd be a 1-possession game. But they called a foul going to the basket there for Carter.
If I never hear another official's whistle again after tonight, it'll be too soon. Because this has just been an absolute whistle fest.
I don't know what they're discussing out there. Who they calling the foul on? But it was off the ball. I'm watching Gaines the whole time. I felt like that play was going to be for him, knowing what they run to get a 3-pointer at the top of the key.
Castle's fouled out of the game, by the way. That is his 5th foul. And so he will foul out with 20 points. Or excuse me, yep.
He had 20 points with about 12 minutes to go in this game. He hasn't scored it since because Spencer and Newton have taken over the ball handling responsibilities.
So he fouls out with 20 points. So each team now has 1 disqualification. Pierre for Providence. Steph Castle, who's had his career-high scoring game tonight as a freshman with 20 to lead the Huskies. And we'll get 2 shots here for the Friars. Even though Gaines hit the 3, the foul was called before the shot.
You know, they haven't called anything. Carter going to the basket. You got Gaines taking the 3 and making it. They call a foul. Carter going to the basket without even having the ball.
Diarra will come in and replace Steph Castle.
It's just so consistent. You know?
So Carter is going to go to the line and shoot the 2. And Devin in the ball game is hit 4 of 7.
You almost don't want the Friars to go to the foul line in this game.
First shot is good for Devin. And for Carter, that gives him 18 points, 5 of 8 from the line.
You get this to 4. I haven't had it to 4 in a long time. And it's either been 5 or 7 or 8.
Second shot, short. Goodness. Rebound, Newton saves it to Diarra. Quick pass, Caravan, Spencer attacks into the lane, leans in, throws up the runner off the rim, no good. Rebound tip, Friars control it with Carter. It's a 5-point game, 1:41 to go. Carter drives to the right, got a bump from Newton, gets down the baseline, spins in the lane, tries to throw it up over his head, gets knocked to the floor, no foul call. Official doesn't bail him out, and UConn grabs the rebound.
Yeah, that was a tough play there by Carter. He's got to get more under control. I think he was under control there. He might have got the call, but he was hoping for a whistle.
Diarra center circle. Left now for Caravan. Toward the sideline. Spencer holds it. 10 to shoot. 1:15 to play. Newton has it out front. Takes it to the left on the Gaines. Cuts it back to the right with 4. With 3. Caravan to Diarra. Steps back. Fires the 3. Rattles in and out. Clingan tips the ball. Rodeo grabs it. 1 minute to go. Friars down 5. Carter with the basketball.
Good job by Gaines right there to keep that ball alive.
Carter left. High screen set. Rolls to the right. Goes right to the rim. Lays it above the glass. Won't get it. Rebound. Okay. Rejected by Clingan. And Spencer saves the ball. That might have been it right there. Carter comes left now for Spencer. And Carter is down on the floor under the basket. He is under the basket on the floor. And the officials just let the game go.
Nate Thomason is beside himself over there. That's a foul on that play. They don't have the guts to call it. They're on the road in here in UConn. Number 1 team in the country.
Kim better not go out there. He's been checked the last 2 times. He's gone out to check his players.
I mean, Carter goes to the basket he didn't initiate the contact. He went up to try to make the shot. He got banged on that play. It's just been
He got hit hard on his
watch.
He got hit hard on his right hip and did get some help off the floor. We got 35 seconds left. The foul was called on Providence here on Oduro. And if that stands, he's just fouled out with 35 seconds left. And I believe it will stand.
That was a big play down there. You get it to 3. It's a whole new day. Now they'll call it. They swallow the whistle on that. There's contact going to the basket. You call the crap over here when Spencer went on that play. He got hit, and he initiated the contact. I mean, that was like, man, that was a lot of contact. You got to call that.
And yet they didn't. And it's been that way the entire game for these officials.
I could never coach, man. I've been thrown out by now. Forget it. These guys.
So Oduro fouls out. 35 seconds left. Had a remarkable night, especially in the second half with 11, 20 points in the ball game. It becomes the second Friar to foul out. Cam Spencer will try to seal it at the free throw line here for the Huskies with 35 ticks left. Swishes the free throw.
Man, that was a big play.
This game is going to come down to free throws. UConn is 23 of 33. Providence is 11 for 24. 9 more will be 10 more attempts at the line. 12 more makes for Connecticut from the foul line.
Well, they're going to make more than the foul shots than the Friars took in this game. Close to it.
Second shot for Spencer is good.
And both teams are going to the basket hard.
70-63. Carter up, drives, goes right by Newton, lays it up, got it back. But a rebound followed by Ford. Or did they call a foul again?
Yeah, that wasn't a foul. That was a good block.
And they call a foul on Tristan Newton. This game is absolutely.
That was a great block.
It was a good block. It's just so incredibly inconsistent. It's not a complaint of the officials. It's just inconsistent.
They should have called the foul play before.
Should have.
For Carter.
Just the second foul of the game on Newton. And so they don't call when he hurts his hip and he's left on the floor and the officials don't see him and they let the play go. But they'll call that when Newton actually gets a good block.
That was a good block. I thought it was a good block. I mean, Corey Floyd was there for the rebound, but Carter just got hammered the last. Look at him. He's still walking around after he got beat up the last play. It's funny, though. He's over there beat up, but when he went to the basket there, he looked pretty fresh to me.
Carter's going to get 2 free throws. Devin is hit 5 of 9, now 6 of 10. That makes the score 70-64.
Well, the Friars, they gutted it out in this one. They're not going to win this game, but, they gutted it out. They'll look at the free throws as one that hurt them more than anything.
Of course.
And the amount of fouls that were called against them was it's just too annoying. To be a conference game this magnitude, you can't have one team get all those foul shots.
Carter hits both free throws. It may be the only time tonight that they've hit 2 in a row at the line.
Carter's going to come out because he can't foul anybody. He's got 4 fouls. The Friars are going to foul it.
Luke Fonch comes into the game to actually replace him with 29.7 left. Inbounds comes right to Spencer, and Spencer gets fouled immediately. I think that's Castro that came in to get him. It is. And Castro fouls out with 28.5 left.
Well, the guy who liked the foul is Clingan, but Connecticut won't throw him the ball. He's out there mid-court. They want to get it to their best foul shooters, which is smart. And Spencer and Newton have been living on that foul. I don't think they haven't scored a field goal in quite a while. It's been all foul shots.
So Castro fouls out with 4 points. He becomes the third Friar disqualified due to fouls. And Spencer, who's 4 for 4 at the foul line here in the half.
That's the Friars' 29th personal foul in this game.
And UConn has how many?
UConn's personal fouls is
Spencer
19.
at the line. Hits.
They have 19 personal fouls. The Friars have 29. Now, you've watched this game with me. You think it was 10 foul differential in this game?
No way. No way. But I believe as Bill Belichick used to say, or still says, just not actively, it is what it is. Second shot, Spencer is up and good.
He didn't say that as much when Brady wasn't playing.
No. 72-65. Inbounds comes to Floyd. Floyd up the right side into the forecourt. 23 seconds left. He goes right by DR, elevates, missed the shot short, comes out of bounds, and it's saved to Newton, who goes into the forecourt with it to Stewart, who drives and takes it home. Jalen Stewart's only basket of the game with 13 seconds left, and the Huskies have pretty much sealed it as Gaines gets off the three, that's in and out, and the rebound for Tristan Newton, and this is over. And the number one ranked Huskies survive an extraordinarily physical battle with the Providence Friars here in Storrs, Connecticut. 74-65, the final score.
Well, there's a lot of things you can look at in this one, but one thing I'm proud of with the Friars, they showed a lot of toughness in this game. Their defense was solid. You know, they missed a lot of free throws, but I didn't think they got fair win game. 29 team fouls for 19 for Connecticut in a very physical game. I thought it was an injustice to them on that, but when they did get to the line, they weren't making the free throws anyway. But I thought they played a super basketball game, had a chance to win this one. Down 5, and they had a drive to the basket. And thought Carter was fouling that play. You get it to 3, it's only one possession. They just weren't able to get the call when they needed one.
Friars missed their last 5 shots from the floor and did not score a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes. And it ends up being a 9-point for the Connecticut Huskies at home as they now improve to 19-2 overall. Number one team of the nation improves to 9-1 in the Big East Conference. The Friars have a 3-game win streak snapped. They're 14-7 overall. They're now 5-5 in league play. Our Santander postgame wrap-up is coming up next from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. You want to use Oduro for the player?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was great.
Right. So, Doug, can you find an Oduro play that we'll use for the last segment? Thanks. If you have something else, just play whatever you have for these first 2 segments, and then save the Oduro one for last. That's fine. Perfectly fine. See, they bring their players out. We don't do any of that stuff. Yeah. But not this year, he won't.
No.
St. John's lost, so Xavier beat him, so we're still tied with St. John's at 5-5.
Well, Xavier's 5-5 too.
No, they're 5-6. A little behind. Oh. Yeah, that was Devin Carter to start the second half on his way to getting 3 of what ends up being 20 points in this ball game. And the Friars were able to basically, they were down by 1 at half. They were down by 4 early. That pulled them back within 1. And then UConn started to slowly kind of just muscle their way through it. They certainly got the benefit of a lot of the physicality out on the floor. The Friars, in turn, managed to try to keep it close, but could never get over the hump, and missing free throws really hurt them, and UConn ends up pulling away at the end, 74-65, despite the best efforts of Devin Carter and Josh Oduro. John and Joe back at Storrs in the Gampel Pavilion, and, you do a lot of what-ifing, I think, of this game, and I know you mentioned right after we went to the commercial break at the end of the game, you said, you know what, I'm proud of these guys for the fight and for the hustle, especially since they played shorthanded much of the game. But the problem is you had a chance to win it. If you hit your free throws, this is a different result tonight.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they had a chance to make foul shots. They shot 50% from the foul line, but I don't think they got there enough. They were outscored 26-13 from the foul line. Now, the Friars missed 13 free throws. Connecticut also missed 10 free throws, but they went there 36 times.
Right.
I mean, there was 29 fouls calls against Providence.
See, and I can't imagine that those officials are going to look at that box score and feel like this was an evenly called game.
It was not an even called game. I mean, they're very inconsistent. A lot of, if it's a physical game, fine. But the foul discrepancies shouldn't be that wide. Friars had 29 fouls called against them. 2 guys fouled out. Connecticut had 19 fouls called against them.
And nobody fouled out.
Nobody. But
excuse me, Castle fouled
out. But, 10 fouls called against you in a game like this, it just wasn't equitable. It wasn't even. I mean, you got to have at least even. But, I mean, being on the road, I think these officials lost control of it, and they allowed a lot of contact to go when Providence went to the basket, but they called the fouls when Connecticut went to the basket late.
And that's what we were really – you and I were really doing our complaining on the unevenness of the game. It was just inconsistent call on both ends of the floor.
Well, I complain all the time. I understand that. But when
I don't believe that.
I do. But in this case, Tristan Newton took 16 free throws. Cam Spencer took 8. Now, you look at their line, Tristan Newton, 3 for 9, 0 for 3 from 3.
Yep.
Spencer, 3 for 12, 1 for 8 from 3.
Yep.
They didn't score a field goal in the last 8 minutes of the game because they were on the foul line all the time, doing the same moves that Providence was doing down the other end. Providence didn't get to the line enough. Connecticut did. And that was the difference in the game. They lost by 9, which, it looks like they got beat easy, but you can't have that much of a discrepancy. It was just a horrendously called game. It wasn't even. I don't mind a game being physical, but you got to call it both ways. And Gaffney, who's horrendous anyway, he's always on these games, and he just doesn't have the intestinal fortitude to call a foul against the home team, especially here in Connecticut.
And he didn't get a whole lot of help either from Ron Groover or Clarence Armstrong tonight. But
good name, by the way. What's it, Goober?
Groover.
Oh, he should be a Goober.
I didn't say that. Joe did.
Should change his name to Goober.
Groover was in the Final Four last year.
Who was?
Ron Groover.
That doesn't mean anything.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
The Monitor was in the Final Four, too.
Well, we know that.
I mean, come on.
I know.
There's only one good official. Ayers.
Roger Ayers.
Roger Ayers. He's the only good one. The rest of them are horrendous. I mean, 1 to 10, they're all like 3s and 2s. But I mean, 29 to 19, that's the number. That's what you look at.
So a couple of words there you wanted to spit out, and probably best that you don't.
Listen, when you're on the road playing the number 1 team in the country,
yeah,
and you're battling and battling and battling,
yep,
and that team scores more free throws,
yep,
than you took in the game,
right? That's
a problem. They had 26 free throws made. Providence took 26 free throws. Right. That's a problem. These guys should all be fired.
All right, let's take a time out here so I can cool Joe off a little bit.
That's a problem.
Trying to help my friend out here. All right. 74-65, the final score. We'll continue with more of the post-game wrap-up here from Santander. Coming up in a moment from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball.
Yeah, you let me run with that, didn't you?
I loved it. That was great. That was great. That's good stuff. Just go.
What? Nobody's listening.
I know, right?
Who was the left-handed kid we had? Played 1 year, the point guard from Indiana. You remember him? That's the one Gaffney called the offensive foul on. I can't. I love that kid. He was great.
Which one? Which team?
The point guard. You had Mania and the other left-handed kid. Point guard.
Durham.
That was. We were up 1 at that time, and he calls a foul on Durham on offensive foul. Remy Martin can't guard you. He just dove in front of him. He called an offensive foul. It should have been a block. Gaffney called an offensive foul. Durham goes to the line. He shoots 80%. We're up 3. I mean, we could win that game.
Yeah. What's the name of the pizza place downtown?
What?
Pizza place downtown. What's the name of it?
Providence.
The
Fire?
No, not the coal-fired one. The traditional one that's close to the.
Casertas?
Thank you, Casertas. Yeah. You know, Pierre didn't score a lot of points in this one, Joe, but at the same time, I actually thought his defense was pretty good on Tristan Newton for the most part in this game because they held Tristan Newton to just 3 for 9 shooting the ball. The Friar defense held Cam Spencer to just 3 for 12 shooting the ball and 1 for 8 from 3. He's the leading three-point shooter in the league at 45%, top 10 in the nation in shooting the three ball, 1 for 8. And then the rest of the perimeter wasn't very good either. Caravan was only 4 of 9 and 1 for 5 from 3. I thought the perimeter defense was solid. The problem was that Providence just didn't hit the free throws when they needed to.
Yeah, they held them to 4 for 23 from three-point land. That's 17%. The Providence defense has been good all year. It was very, very good in this ball game. And Connecticut plays good defense too, John. I mean, they held the Friars just 4 for 18 from beyond the arc. But this Connecticut team had 17 threes made, 17 for 29 against Xavier. The Friars locked them up. The Friars played good half-court defense the whole game.
Yep.
They just didn't get the benefit of the doubt on the whistle and judgment call plays. It was unfortunate. I mean, you got to even that out.
John and Joe back here in Storrs at Gampel Pavilion, a 74-65 win for number 1 ranked Connecticut. In this one, let's take a look at the numbers for UConn as they improve to 19-2 overall, now 9-1 in Big East play. They're actually unbeaten in 2024. They're 8-0 in the new year, so that's a pretty good, impressive start here for Connecticut to the year. They've won 12 of their last 13 games overall since they last lost a game, which was to Seton Hall in their very first Big East contest.
This is a very good Connecticut team. I mean, they can win another national championship.
They can.
There's no question.
They've got the ingredients. They got the inside play. They got the outside play. They got the shooters.
They got 3 50th senior guards, 2 50th senior guards and 1 senior guard, and they're good.
Yep.
And they don't get flustered. They had all the free throws down the stretch when they had to. But this is a very, very good team. Friars did their best job to try to win this game. They got Clingan out of the game with foul trouble. Odoro was terrific. They had a chance in the game, but when you look at it at the end of the day, you work so hard to stop them. You got rebounds. You hung around in the rebounding battle until the end.
And you let yourself down by not making free throws.
You don't make the free throws.
4 in double figures for UConn, led by Steph Castle's 20 points. The freshman hit a career high tonight before fouling out of the game with 1:57 to go. Castle really was spectacular. He had the best overall game of anybody, really. 7 of 14 from the floor, hit 2 of 4 from 3, and he's not really a great three-point shooter, only 24% of the season. 4 of 7 from the line and had 5 rebounds. And you can understand a little if you watch the game tonight why he's a 5-time freshman of the week in the Big East Conference. He'll be the freshman of the year running away with the award this year.
Yeah, he'll be freshman of the week again this week, too, because he was the guy who was scoring. Friars just shut down Newton.
He actually was.
Spencer.
He actually was already. So for next week. Then.
For next week. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, when Newton and Spencer was shut down, but Castle picked up the slack and was able to score.
Right. He had 16 points for Tristan Newton and scored 10 of those in the second half. And 8 of those 10 came from the free throw line. He was 10 for 16 shooting from the line, 3 of 9 from the floor, 0 for 3 from 3. But he had a double-double, 16 points, 11 rebounds. It's his 5th career double-double. And this is coming from a guy who has 3 career triple-doubles, including 1 earlier this year.
Wasn't a lot of assists in the game. There were only 7 assists in the ball game by UConn, 9 by the Friars, but 7 assists on 22 made baskets. So a lot of one-on-one finishing at the rim. Tristan had 3 assists, but you look at his numbers, but he's a factor out there down the stretch.
Alex Caravan, 12 points, again, 4 of 9 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3, with 4 rebounds in his 33 minutes. And Cam Spencer had 15 points, but just 3 of 12 shooting and only 1 for 8 from 3 for the Big East #1 3-point shooter. He did have 8 for 8 from the foul line with 7 rebounds. Donovan Clingan, who hit 2 fouls in this game, picked up 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes of the game, was never really a solid factor, had 7 points and 3 rebounds in 15 minutes. You had 2 points from Stewart, 2 points from Samson Johnson, who came in and tried to replace Clingan in the lineup, and that was the scoring for Connecticut. They shoot 40%, 22 of 55 from the floor, but from 3, the season worst, 17%, 4 of 23.
Yeah, Friars were all over them on that 3-point line, did a good job. But Connecticut did a good job when they missed, though, John. They got a lot of offensive rebounds in the second half.
Sure did. Let's take a look at those rebounds. Well, free throws, 26 of 36 from the foul line is 72%, which is actually the percentage is right on their average at 72.8. Turnovers, each team had 11. Rebounds, a 43-36 edge for Connecticut, including a 15-13 slight edge on the offensive glass. Friars had a lead in the rebounds at halftime, Joe, and then gave it up.
Yeah, and they had a lead in the offensive rebounds, too. They were keeping UConn off the glass, but UConn just got to the offensive glass in the second half.
That was a big factor, clearly, overall in this one. Let's take a look at the Friar numbers. They only had 2 in double figures. He had 20 points from Josh Oduro before he fouled out of the game with 35 seconds to go. And again, Josh picked up 3 fouls in the first half, got his third with 6:38 to play. Didn't come into the game until, what was it, about 12 minutes or so?
Yeah.
That was inside 12 minutes.
No, it was like 8 minutes.
Okay, so right around that 8 to 10 minute range, and still ended up scoring 11 points in the second half for 20 in the game. Had 9 rebounds to lead the Friars in the backboards, along with Carter's 9 before fouling out. He also had 20 points from Devin Carter. 6 of 18 shooting, though, just 1 of 4 from 3, and 7 of 11 from the line. Between Carter and Oduro, your 2 leading scorers, you were 10 for 17 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and they played a tough game, though. Those guys were battling in there. Oduro didn't miss a shot in the second half.
Nope.
And Carter, 2 of the fouls that Oduro got, John, were drives by Carter, who I thought was hit on those drives. Oduro was going for the rebound, and he picked up fouls over the back going for those rebounds that Carter should have been on the foul line.
Oduro and Carter combined for 40 of the 65 Friar points. Nobody else was in double figures. You had 7 from Corey Floyd with 8 rebounds in his 32 minutes, and I thought Corey may have had one of his better all-around games of the entire year. You knew he'd be a little amped up to come back to UConn, where he started his career.
Well, he was playing like a power forward out there. Eventually you just get worn down, but he was tough the whole ball game, hung in there. He was 3 for 3 at one point, but he had a good solid game.
6 points for Ticket Gaines, but Ticket missed all 4 of his 3-pointers. could have used a little of that tonight. Jaden Pierre, 5 points before he fouled out of the game. And then you had 3 points for Rich Barron, who hit his only 3, and 4 points for Rafael Castro, who also fouled out of the game. So Castro, Oduro, and Pierre all fouled out for the Friars. Castle fouled out for Connecticut. Team-wise, the Friars, believe it or not, outshot Connecticut from the floor 41% to 40. So when the Friars outshoot their opponents, they actually have a very good record on the season. I believe they are now, what is that? I'm looking when they outshoot, 11-0 on the season. First loss this year when they outshoot the opponent from the floor. Shooting
two more field goals in Connecticut.
Two more field goals than UConn did. They were 24-58. UConn was 22-55. Shooting the three, they outshot Connecticut 22% to 17%. They were 4 of 18. But as we've said, and this is really the underscore here, they got beat at the foul line. They're outscored by 13 points at the foul line. They were only 13 of 26 for 50%. Rebounding, they lost that battle 43-36 off the offensive glass, 15-13, and turned the ball over 11 times. UConn had 11 turnovers in the game in front of a sellout crowd of better than 10,220 here in Storrs, Connecticut. And yeah, you like the grit, you like the fight, you like the no quit, but you got to remember that you got to outscore the other team to win a game, and they lost it at the foul line.
Yeah, they lost. Didn't make enough foul shots, but I'm happy with the effort they had. If you coach English, you got to be happy with the effort, but you got to be disappointed that you didn't get to make those foul shots. They got to work on those.
All right, Friars fall to 14-7. They're 5-5 in league play, and we'll talk about what's coming up next because the Providence still in the midst of a 4 games in 5 away trip. That's 4 games out of 5 away from home. Now in the middle of it, they've got one more road game before they get to go back home for one, and we'll talk about that coming up as we wrap up the Santander postgame show in a moment from Learfield. This is Providence Friar basketball. All right, you can play that Oduro play coming back from this break. Thanks. Now we're going to get out of here.
Yeah, can we zip through this? I got to. Steve will have a coronary over there waiting for me.
I know. Jesus.
I hear you, man.
I appreciate your pitching in like this. Man alive. That's a long-ass day, boy. Whew. Probably.
Tell him you want to get paid by the hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Oh,
right.
That sucks.
Wow. Yeah, just because of the bridge.
Well, even I come from East Greenwich into Providence, it's like 25, 30 minutes now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody's got to go down for that bridge fiasco and go down hard. I don't know if that's, yeah, it's got to be Alvidi. Somebody's crooked as the day is long. How can you pass that bridge inspection this summer and now say you got to rebuild it? Right. Which is going to be a disaster for the East Bay for the next, 6 months to a year or more?
Oh, yeah.
Years.
It'll be years.
Good Lord. Rhode Island State motto should probably be morons are us.
That's got to be hurting property values over there. Who the hell bought a house over there?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Think of the property values that just took a nosedive in East Providence.
Oh.
And I used to own a house there.
I'll tell you what,
I'm out.
I'll tell you what, I get invited to the one of Moisty Country Club. I'm not going. I mean,
yeah, basically. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, somebody needs to do jail time on that one. Oh, no question. No question. Somebody had their hand out, didn't get paid, and then sawed those rods off on that bridge. There we go. And single-handedly, he almost did it, bringing the Friars down. They trailed by 1 at halftime. They had as much as an 8-point lead in the first half, pulled within 4 on a couple of occasions late in the second half, could never get over the hump, largely due to the foul trouble and to the inadequacies at the free throw line. And UConn rolls on 74-65. But Josh Odura with his 20 points and 9 rebounds. He's our Outie Warwick outstanding performance of the game.
He was outstanding. I mean, he played great. Comes in off the bench and sitting there cold with foul trouble and made every shot in the second half. He was great.
All right. Well, the Friars, there was one other game in the Big East Conference tonight. Does have some repercussions as far as Providence is concerned, as Xavier at home beats St. John's 88-77, the final score in that one. So now the Xavier, I thought they were 5-6. They're 5-5 in Big East play. I just checked the standings. So you've got Xavier 5-5, St. John's 5-5, and Providence now 5-5. Everybody tied for what is that, 5th in the Big East Conference, just a hair behind Seton Hall.
Xavier's last game, they lost by 40 to UConn. Last game in here,
and they beat St. John's at home.
Yeah,
right. And UConn will play at St. John's at Madison Square Garden this Saturday.
Well, that'll be interesting. That's a big game for St. John's for sure.
Huge for St. John's. Could have huge postseason implications. As far as the Friars are concerned, well, Joe, nothing on Saturday, but they go on the road to take on a wounded Villanova team on Sunday in Philadelphia. And Villanova is only 4-6 in league play, and they're very much in danger of falling out of favor in any kind of postseason tournament. They're only 11-10 overall, and they're playing this one at the Wells Fargo Center in downtown Philadelphia, not on campus, which probably benefits the Friars because, as you know, Providence has had success in that building recently.
Yeah, and the coach is getting booed too. So if you get out in that get big lead in that game early, he'll start to hear it, and the road game becomes like a home game for you now.
I would tell you that if you can come out and play with the same kind of a defensive intensity, especially in the perimeter, as this one, and make a few free throws, you win that game.
And get a few more calls.
Well,
definitely a chance.
They do need that. Definitely. So it's a big game for the Friars. They need it to stay back on the plus side of 500. Villanova needs it just to keep the glimmer of postseason play on the line for them. So that one's going to be a big one for both sides. And that broadcast will tip off at 6 p.m. on Sunday from Wells Fargo in Philadelphia. Joe and I will have the broadcast at 5:40 right here on News Talk 99.7 and AM 630 WPRO. Our thanks to our studio producer, Doug McGonigal, tonight. Great job tonight, Doug. We appreciate your pitching in. And our engineer here in Connecticut, Tim Helmecki, for a job well done. For my partner, Joe Hassett, I'm John Rooke. Again, our final score, number 1 UConn, 74, and Providence 65. Friars on the road to take on the Villanova Wildcats on Sunday. Again, the broadcast at 5:40 right here on WPRO. Until then, so long, everybody. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate you. Yep.
Thanks, Doug. I'll drop it on this side. Have a good one.